Wait a minute, I gotta get my my schmiggle on.
I'm not
Okay,
even
my
gonna bother
inner
trying
religious
today.
fanatic going on.
We are back into the game as we have left off last time. You guys have just arrived at the gates of Bryn Shander and been waylaid by a pack of Yetis, which strangely were attacking the town fiercely without any regard to their own safety. And this is quite abnormal even for wild beasts.
Do we know that's abnormal, or should I say I do?
I
did a
would
lot of
know that.
research.
I think anybody with any experience with monsters or
Okay.
beasts would know that this is not something that beasts typically do.
Anything else, or we in the town now?
You are right outside the gates of town. You look over these dead Yeti bodies, and the door, of course, finally opens, and PD says, "Come in, come in." As you step inside the town, finally,
Shivering.
still shivering, and I think Castner is still frozen.
Yep.
The doctor swaggers in, twiddling his staff, or spinning his staff.
Okay. As you walk in, you see that the town guards rush to the gates.
To help us out, I assume.
Hey, are we late, aren't you?
They're like, we heard there was trouble at the gates, and you see there's about a dozen armored men that rush to the gates, and then PD says, "But
Perfect.
these adventurers, they killed all the Yetis by themselves."
So we had your help.
Yeah, I helped. I mean, I must have killed at least 3 of them just with my own hands.
And you did an outstanding job.
With your crossbow, your bow, your ballista, your rocks.
Some of them, the town guard, the captain of the town guard rolls his eyes, but he looks at all of you, and then he looks at Schmigel, and he says, "Wow, I did not realize that Neverwinter was sending emissaries this time of year." And he looks at Schmigel and he bows at Schmigel.
Oh, don't worry. Don't have to bow after me.
I elbow Schmigel.
He says,
Ow!
"Formalities, my lord. I am Festus, captain.
A
of the
pleasure to
town
meet you,
guard.
Festus.
I must very much thank you for your aid in defeating these monsters at the gate. This is not usual. I can assure you, we have never seen Yeti at the town gates. I mean, sure, they're a big problem around town, but this is the first time they've actually assaulted the town itself. This is shocking." And then he motions for his men to go out and clear the Yeti bodies.
This is Bryn Shander, right?
Yes, it is.
Is this the only walled town among the 10 towns?
Well, there are walls around the other towns.
Oh, there are?
There are
Okay.
no walls such as this. And he motions to the brick walls of Bryn Shander that look very well fortified.
Lovely walls. Good masonry is always hard to find.
He says,
Especially in a wasteland devoid of rock.
This town has seen some troubles in the distant past. He says, but you can rest assured, within these gates you are safe from the horrors outside. He says, now, if you'll excuse me, I must go and finish cleaning these bodies of these beasts. May I ask, what is your name, my lord, so that I may report to my superiors?
Schmigel Ironmiller, and I hold out my hand. It's a pleasure to meet you, Festus.
He says, thank you, my lord. And he bows, and he and his men go out to help clear the Yeti bodies.
I get the feeling I
himself
should
to this
probably clean my
health
hands.
stone.
Nobody wants to shake it.
Well, what do you expect with dwarven hands?
Yes, you see that he does not shake your hand as you put out your hand.
He's already bowed to you.
My Lord Ironbelly, the custom in the north is to bow rather than extend an extremity, which could be affected by the cold.
Oh, I didn't even
Maybe-
notice.
Maybe he wants his hand warmed up. I know I do. My hand, my feet, my nose, my ears.
You're starting to turn blue. We should probably get you near a fire now.
Yeah, You walk around, you take a look around, and this is a pretty bustling city. Not quite as big as Neverwinter, but just the twinkling lights around the shops in town seem to promise a lot of refuge from the lashing winds. And there's some smoke from hearths from many of the buildings in town. So you're very happy to be in civilization once more. There's a couple of people walking about. Most of them are staying huddled down, not quite paying much attention to you. As you look around, just trying to orient yourself and find a direction, you see there is a merchant that walks out of his shop, and you can see that the sign to his shop has a big apothecary sign to it. There's a bunch of herbs on it. And he runs out and he says, "Disaster! Oh my lord!" And you see him dragging out the body of one of the smaller Yetis. He's like, "I don't know how this one got in here." And this Yeti's been slain already. He drags him out. He says, "Oh my goodness! Oh, that's Slim. When I get my hands on his neck, I'm gonna wring it."
What seems to be the problem, friend?
He looks up at you. "Oh, my lord. Oh, please pardon my behavior and my language. It's just that this Yeti here has ruined my stock."
Oh, what seemed to be happening?
This Yeti ran into my shop and started just destroying the entire shop. I'd never seen it in my life. Good thing I was able to blast it with one of my spells, but I'm ruined. He's like, I paid that Slim good money. I paid him 500 gold for his protection, and he doesn't show up when my shop is getting destroyed.
Slim?
Like, when I find him, yes, Slim. He's offering protection nowadays. This is the kind of protection he offers. And he opens the door to the shop. He's like, "Take a look." You peer inside, and you can see the apothecary shop with bottles completely smashed, herbs thrown all across the floor.
That's a real shame.
Whoa.
How did a Yeti get inside the walls?
Well, one of them must have climbed over it.
How close are we to the nearest wall?
You guys are within 50 feet of the wall that you came through, and you don't know how this Yeti got in here, but it must have climbed over the wall somehow.
Ground inside the city, snow covered as well, I presume.
Yeah.
What about the
Well, it's plowed.
buildings?
The walkways are, of course.
Yeah, the buildings, are they stone color, darkish, to where a Yeti wouldn't be able to blend in up against a building wall or something? Or are the walls
Yetis
white?
are very good at hiding in snow, and
Yeah,
a
yeah,
Yeti
yeah.
could probably get in here.
But the buildings themselves,
Well,
are
you
they
can
white?
roll me a survival check. Take a look at some of those tracks. Yeah, you definitely notice these Yeti tracks that go into the apothecary, and you follow them all the way to the wall. You can see that there are little outcroppings of masonry and stone in the wall that the Yeti probably used to climb up over the wall to get into the shop. And this is probably one of the Yetis that you guys had faced, one that got away and ran into town.
But we took care of them all. I put them all to sleep. Come on.
Not all of them.
All but one.
Yeah,
All the ones that you saw.
And then the apothecary comes up. He says, "Listen, my name is Reardon, and I'm really ruined. This is my entire stock. I mean, it's not that I don't have enough money to make it through the winter. I do. It's just that I was thinking of making a profit this winter, and this Yeti has just completely ruined my
Have you
shop."
no insurance, good man?
He says, "Well, we don't. Insurance does not cover
Towns.
something like this. No one ever could have imagined that a Yeti would destroy your shop."
Use that medicine check there to take kind of a stock of the types of herbs that have been destroyed and
You look around, and these are very precious herbs. Some of them are summer herbs, and you know that they're not replaceable at this time of year. There are a lot of herbs that are used for healing. There are some herbs that are used for different types of resistance. You find some of those flowers that you were seeking before.
Snow tears.
Yeah. So it's a big shame that this guy has gotten his shop ruined. He says, "Listen, I could use your help on something." He says, "This Slim, I think he's a thief, and I think he's a racketeer. I paid him."
Well, if you're paying him protection, obviously he's a racketeer.
Yeah, I paid him 500 gold to protect my stock, and he has done absolutely nothing. I called for him, I sent word for him the minute we saw that Yeti coming into my store, and nothing. If you can find him and you can get my gold back, I will pay you half of that gold, and I will see to it, actually, that you get a discount. I mean, the Yeti, of course, has destroyed most of my shop, but the Yeti has not destroyed my secret stock that I keep downstairs, and I can give you a discount. We can help each other because I need that 250 to survive
Hey,
this
a
winter.
friend indeed is a friend indeed.
He says, "I have a lot of potions that I think would be useful to you. You seem like the adventuring type."
No, we don't really need money, but yes, like you said, your potions would be very useful.
Yes, and I most definitely can sell them to you at a very cheap price. In fact, the price that I would sell them to you at no profit. If you can help me with getting my money back, because if I don't have that money, I'm broke for the winter. I don't know what I'm going to do. He says, so this Slim, he and his little cronies, they like to hang out in the Northlook Inn. It's all the way on the north edge of town. So I'm not much of a fighter myself. I'm not very good in conflict. I only know a few spells that I can cast. But if you can go and help me get this money back, I'd be very much appreciated.
What does this Slim look like?
Oh well, he's a short fellow. He's almost the size of a halfling. He's not really a halfling actually. He's got black hair. He's got these waxed eyebrows. He's always wearing fine clothing and jewelry to kind of make himself look important, but he's just a common thief. But you better watch out because I've seen him with a lot of cronies, and they don't look very nice. In fact, I didn't really want to pay him this protection money, but they seem to be getting a little threatening.
Is there no city guard that will take care of a thievery such as this?
I tried to go to the city guard, but they are not able to pin any evidence on Slim to get him into trouble.
So you have no evidence?
I don't, but I can... this is
So
just my word.
we must arrest this man for you on your good word alone.
I don't want him to be arrested, I just want my money back.
So you want us to take money from a man on your word alone?
Well, yeah.
So you
Look
want
at me,
us
look
to be
at my shop.
thieves?
It's destroyed.
He's paying us.
My shop is destroyed.
Thanks,
Look at
Doctor.
it. I mean, what else can I do?
You have to admit, Matilda, he's out 500 gold, and he's got a shop that's beaten half to here in hell.
It looks like it's at
I
least
can
worth
see that the
looking
shop
into.
Does he have-
but I have no proof of that any money from him was taken.
Then why don't we go
Does-
check it
Does
out?
it appear, I use that insight check, does it appear that the individual is being honest with us?
You do not sense any ulterior motive in this man. And you are going pretty much by his word if you were to help him.
Besides, let's take a look at this Slim. Maybe he's the shady kind of type. If he is, who knows?
Even shady kind of types could have their money legitimately.
That's true, that's true. Hell, I used to be a shady type once upon a time.
You did? I don't want to
feel
know
like-
anymore.
I feel like we could investigate, but should certainly determine the truth behind these accusations before we take any money from this Slim.
You will. The Reardon comes up to you and says, "You will know the minute you meet this guy. He's a thief. He's
No.
just no good."
Not exact-
Is the guard captain still standing?
The guard captain has gone out to
Has already left.
clean
Okay.
up the Yetis.
Hey, what happened to Hilda?
Hilda has gone somewhere else. She has told you earlier that she's going to go meet you at the inn.
Where's my supply of? Where's my cart with my stuff?
So one of the helping hands that just Hilda's paid comes over to you with this big box and, where do you want this?
I need them delivered to a certain man in town. Goes by the name of Donovan.
Oh yeah, Donovan's shop. Yeah, I'll take it over there. And he points you over to a direction to the east of town where Donovan's shop is located. Yes, Hilda already paid me a couple of silver to take this. Wherever you want me to take it.
Okay. Let Donovan know that the doctor shall be visiting soon.
Very well. And you see him waddle off with this big. He puts a crate over his back and he goes off.
Now, what did you say your name was? I'm talking to the apothecary.
Reardon.
Reardon. So I'm sure we'll look into this matter for you.
Oh, thank you. I'm sure
won't be an issue.
I'm sure if you look into this to any extent, you will see how much of a bastard Slim is.
By the way, Reardon...
And I'm not asking you to do anything unless you feel that he really does owe me this money, and I'm sure you will once you talk to the guy.
Now, just out of curiosity, from one scholar to another, what exactly do you have in your secret stash of herbs? I'm very my interest has been freaked.
I just have a couple of helpful potions. I'm an apothecary. I got some potions that I think you adventurers would find very helpful.
As in, I'm just curious. So I'm trying to persuade him to tell me what he has ahead of time.
Well, I don't like to. I mean, unless you are ready to buy these potions, I don't want to completely give them. I don't want to completely just advertise them because they're not for sale at my regular shop. You can roll a persuasion.
Okay, I shall do that. Character she's just being a little slow. Okay, persuasion.
He says, listen, you helped me out on this, and I will be more than happy to sell you the potions in my secret stock. He says, until I'm ready to sell these potions, I try not to advertise it around. You know, I have some competitors in town, and they might get a little upset or jealous about the potions that I have.
Alright, sounds like a fair deal. We'll be returning soon. Actually, one more question. Have you heard of anyone by the name of Sir North around in these parts?
Yeah, he kind of taps his forehead a little bit. He's, no, never heard of him. But you know, there's a lot of people who come to Icewind Dale to get lost, if you know what I mean.
I think I do know what you mean. Alright, if you happen to hear anything about a Sir North, let me know.
Sure.
And I'm gonna toss him a few silver,
Okay.
just to make sure he...
He bows and says thank you.
Alright guys, let's get going.
Well, you guys are still really cold. I mean, do you want to...
We should find the inn and warm up a bit.
Yes.
Especially Castanar.
Yes.
He's turning blue.
Could you give us directions to the best inn in town?
He says, well, there's a couple of different inns in town. I mean, if you're talking about the best inn in town, you're probably looking for Kelvin's Comfort. Oh, I'm sorry. Where is it? Yes, you're looking for Kelvin's Comfort. That's the real snazzy inn in town.
Wonderful.
And he points right down the road.
What do you find of it? Is it really worth its price, or is it...
He says, well, you know, some people just they like the bath and they like the nice drapery. I I personally would be more than happy in the Golding's Rest. But, if you're into these fineries and draperies and
A man of
fine
Lord
silverware-
Ironbelly's stature cannot be seen in anything less.
But I like homely places.
If you got the gold, it's not a bad place.
What was that other place you were talking about? The golden.
Yeah,
Let's head off.
Gelden Stag's Rest. That's where most of us working people go. But I can see that your lordly self may not find the accommodations quite suiting. And he kind of looks at your cloak.
Hey, the cloak means nothing. I've slept on the rocks before, and I've had a good night's sleep.
And you have earned the right to not have to do that anymore.
Where's the fun in that? Becoming a snobby noble and such.
What if I like rocks?
Then I'll put some rocks in your bed.
Come, Schmoggle, I'll help you find the most comfy alleyway in town.
Okay, so
But-
which way are you guys heading? You guys are going to just head into town, into the center of town?
So I look at everybody and say, all right, shall we go fancy or shall we go more homely?
Warm.
The doctor's
What?
going wherever Hilda set up or brought all our carts or all her stuff, because she already went to arrange something for us, didn't she?
You have your stuff, but she actually brought your box of weapons has been brought over to Arun's Weapons in the east of town. You guys have your equipment, of course, except for the wand of magic missiles, which was lost in avalanche.
Okay.
Gotta penalize you a little bit if you lost the card.
Hey, it saved our lives. Maybe.
It very well may have.
May have saved my life anyway.
It's okay. Medicine Soft will be happy to draw your character portrait when you die. Okay, so you guys are heading into town.
Yeah.
You guys head to the northeast. As you approach the center of town, you hear somebody screaming towards the center of town. Ah!
Schmiggle runs.
Oh my,
Yeah.
more drama. What is this town? Is it? Is it? Yeah.
Matilda follows right
Is this theater day?
I'll stumble along.
The doctor's just spinning his
You
staff.
guys want to go and investigate the screaming, or you just want to get warm?
Warm. Warm, screaming. I better investigate the screaming with everybody else.
You
Yeah.
notice that the people around town
Could be another Yeti.
are not even aren't paying any attention to this screaming. It's like it's normal for them. They're just walking by. It's not like they're startled or anything as you're walking along. You pick up the pace and the screaming gets louder. Ah! And you hear someone say, "You bastards! Ah!"
Oh, public theater.
As we round the corner, what do we see?
You guys walk into Market Square and you see a massive, muscular human with blonde hair, green eyes, chained to a pole. He is in a loincloth and it appears that he's going to freeze to death. Give me 1 second. I have a portrait.
Doctor's gonna go up to him and investigate him, but he's not gonna touch. He's just gonna investigate him.
Okay, you guys. So this
Or?
is what he looks like. You see him?
Yep. Got him.
Except not as
Looks
much
to be a
dressed.
barbarian.
He does look to be some barbarian, and he screams out. He's like, "You bastards, people of 10 towns! This is how you treat your neighbors! To falsely accuse them of a crime and leave
What?
them to die!" And you see,
I'm walking up to him. And I'm gonna ask him exactly what did you do to.
and he spits on the ground and he says, "You bastards!" And one of the guards, there's 2 guards on his left and right, and one of the guards looks at him, pokes him with the blunt end of a spear, and says, "Be quiet. You have been tried and found guilty." He says, "Be quiet, filth." And the man screams again and he says, "False! I have been framed!" He says, "I come to you in good faith for aid of my people, and you treat me thus. May Tempest curse you all!" And he lets out this barbarian rage scream that just shakes the foundations of the ground. You see people kind of walk by. Some little kids run up to him and throw some rotten vegetables at him and run away.
Is his scream loud enough to crack my glasses since I'm standing right in front of him?
No, it's not like that.
It's not that high pitched.
It's not that high pitched. And he looks at you, he's like, "Who are you? Come to insult me?"
I'm the doctor, and I'm interested in what your crime was.
He says, "It was no crime." And then the guard says, "Please don't approach." He spits.
That's alright, I can clean myself quite easily with
He says,
magic.
This man is guilty of grand larceny, which he has stolen over 1,000 gold from a good merchant here in Bryn Shander. And furthermore, he has injured and almost killed 2 of our guards during apprehension and resisting arrest. He says, "Yeah, that man was my friend, you bastard." And he hits him again with the blunt end of a spear.
I look at him, really? You only got away with 1,000?
The guard says, please step back. This man is being publicly executed by means of exposure. Please do not interfere with this execution. He says, "You!" The barbarian screams out, "You lecherous bastards! I have done no crime."
Can I do an
accuse
insight
me
check to see if he's
falsely.
actually... If he's telling truthfully?
You can do an insight check. You're not really sure. You can't tell with this man screaming and raging all over the place.
Schmigel comes up and he say, "So, if it wasn't you, what did happen?"
He says, "I was framed. I
By
came
who?
here for aid of my people who are dying."
Who framed you?
He says, "I don't know. I came here and I was arrested." And he screams again, and the guard says, my lord, please, this prisoner is a very dangerous man.
Was the money that
Please
he
stand
was...
back."
I would like to go in and ask the guard if
Yeah.
the money that he's accused of having stolen was found on him, or
The guard says,
at all.
"Yes, it was." And he says, if you wish to question this case, please speak to Sheriff Markham. He's the one who has captured this man and brought him to arrest. But this man has had a fair trial in the courts of Bryn Shander, and the penalty for resisting arrest, grand larceny, is death by exposure. And we are simply carrying out our sentence. Please, if you would, do not interfere with this man's execution.
Could I make it, do I know how long it would take for someone of his stature, to freeze to death in this weather? Or just to figure out how much time he would have left, approximately.
That would be a medicine check.
Not an intelligence check?
Medicine is intelligence-based.
No, it's wisdom-based.
Not
Wisdom
anymore.
based.
I think
That
it's a
was
medicine check.
That was
Really?
an insight test.
That
Either that or survival.
it is a medicine check. I mean,
And you're literally
Well,
asking
wouldn't the
about
doctor
this
be,
guy's
like, doing-
survival.
An analysis? Okay.
I
I can't use it as intelligence?
it would be a medicine check.
It'd be an intelligence medicine check.
No, it's an you can if you. I mean, just if you really want to
Okay.
milk it, that's fine. You can do an
Yeah,
intelligence.
I'll just do medicine. Oh well, doesn't matter. I did well anyways.
You don't think that he will survive for more than 24 hours like this?
Okay. Just to keep that in mind.
I'll scan the area, looking at the people in the marketplace. Is there anyone that has any kind of sympathy for him?
As you look around, it seems like the people of Bryn Shander look at him with disgust.
I'll just walk up to someone. So, where's he from?
He says, "Oh, that man over there is just he's pretty much a savage. He's one of the ragged barbarians." He says they're responsible probably for all this for this terrible these terrible monster attacks that have been incurring on the outskirts of town. They're probably responsible for this long winter with their shamanistic magic and worship of the Ice Maiden.
What monster attack?
He says, "Oh, haven't you heard?
Oh, we've been out of town for a while.
There have been terrible beasts stalking the outskirts of Bryn Shander. Much worse than what is expected." He says this season has been the worst, and winter has come 2 months early, and it's probably because of these savages. And he spits on the floor, and he just walks off.
Hey. Oh, one thing I know for sure. I've owed my life to a few barbarians a couple times back during the Ogre Wars.
And?
If you gotta blame the barbarians, you gotta admit, they have some kind of tenacity like something else.
If we want to get to the bottom of this case, my lord, I suggest that we do as the guard recommended and take it up with the sheriff.
Aye, that sounds like a pleasant idea. Don't worry, buddy boy.
The barbarian says, "Are you going to help me?"
Quite possibly.
That depends on your guilt or not.
"I am not guilty. I swear by the hand of Tempus."
I'm gonna try an insight check.
Okay.
That's not a name to swear on lightly.
No. I am an innocent man. Sure, I did injure the guards, but they have arrested me unjustly. You don't think he's
I don't
If
think he's
you
like.
are innocent, good man, then the truth shall come out.
I'm gonna lean over to him and I'm gonna. Are the guards watching us closely or what?
Yeah, the guards when you get too close to him, the guards kind of push you away. They don't want you getting too much near him.
Okay.
They're like, it's for your safety. This man is incredibly dangerous, even chained up.
Oh, very
I
well.
wouldn't push it.
I'm gonna look over
Doctor's pretty
Schmigel
dangerous,
and I'm.
too.
Yeah, I'm quite a dangerous man myself, or a dangerous elf that is.
The guard
but-
raised his eyebrow. He says, I'm sure.
Yes, quite. Anyways, I'm gonna look over at Schmigel and think, letting someone freeze to this is such a horrible way to go. I think it'd be worthwhile to at least get him out of this.
Aye, and
What do you
since Hilda has gone off to her own business with the hops and wheat, we'll probably need a new guide.
We can always warm up at the sheriff's office. Why don't we head off that way? Better there than
And he's
there
nice and
there
solid.
or
The
in.
barbarian says, "It does not matter what happens to me. You must help my people. Are there no good people left in this horrible world? My people are dying."
What
He
are
says,
they
"I
dying
do not
from?
care if I die upon this stake, but I need to bring aid to my people. Don't worry about me, but if you can help my people."
What are they dying from?
He says, "My people are being attacked by the Ice Witch, Hydro."
History check.
Would I know about it? Since I studied up on everything before getting here.
You don't know this name, Hadrian.
Would I have to do my own history check? Well, Schmigel already got a very big one, but
You don't know the name Hadrian.
I don't.
She's not a historical figure.
Damn.
She's
So,
still alive.
This barbarian continues to just tell you who Hadrian is. He says, "I am Hengar Azenvard." He says, "I hail from the tribe of the Elk.
I know that name.
A few months ago, we were attacked by the tribe of the Bear. and they had come under the banner of the Ice Witch Hadron, a worshipper of the winter goddess Auril. Says they have
That name
slain half of my people. They attack viciously and without warning. They send horrible beasts to raid our villages. I came here for aid, and I'm treated thus.
That's quite a shame. Well,
The guard says that's enough from you. Okay, you have been found guilty, and by law, you're here to be executed. And the guard kind of waves you off and says, "Please don't interfere." He says, "We're just trying to carry out our duty. We don't want the people riled up. They're already upset as it is."
They don't seem to be paying much attention.
We don't want to rile them either.
No, we only have children coming up and throwing fruit at them. They're not paying attention.
The people
just
are
get
just
them on.
the few people who do pay attention. They just look at him with contempt. You can tell that there's a lot of angst between these people for this barbarian.
Right. I'll ask if the guard can direct us to the sheriff's office.
He points towards the town hall, which is just a few steps away.
see, closer than an inn.
And what time
Castanar
of day
still
is it?
freezing.
Hopefully there's a fire inside.
All right.
Kastner, I think you should wait out here and keep watch.
Yeah, right.
I'll stay
So-
outside too.
Two? Who else is staying outside? I'm not staying outside.
I'm gonna cast a message spell and talk to the barbarian. Ask him to tell me about his people,
I'm also going to ask you, when you're doing that,
where they are.
since I know you know what you look like when you're casting magic, I'm going to look over you and I'm going to ask you, can you give him a message for me? Tell him
Sure.
that I will not let him freeze like this.
You can count on the doctor to not let you freeze.
He will likely burn you instead.
Right.
The barbarian keeps very solemn, looking down.
I'll go and find the sheriff.
Okay.
And I asked the barbarian where his people are located. Or
Does
where
he
they're
have
headed.
does he have to talk to you through his mind?
No, it's a whisper. He just has to not shout. It's okay if he's talking to himself, I assume.
He tells you about his people in Reged Glacier. That's where they're located. And he beckons you to go help, if possible. The Reged Glacier is past Kelvin's Cairn to the north. It is a good day's travel if you know where you're going. If you don't know where you're going, you'll probably get lost and freeze out there. he tells you.
So we need a...
It is far to the northeast. Okay, what are we doing?
No, I still want to find the
We're going
sheriff.
to talk to the sheriff.
I'm knocking on the door.
Okay, so it's Schmigel and Matilda going to the sheriff's office.
I assume I'm going too, so. The doctor's going with them.
You
And
guys,
Castanar.
you guys are led into the office, and you're greeted by the secretary, who leads you over to the sheriff. And he seems to be very preoccupied. He's a gruff-looking man. He's got a bit of stubble. He's got a mustache, and he's busy filing kind of writings on some scrolls. And he looks up at you. He says, "My lord."
Hey, good afternoon to you.
He says,
I take a
"Good
bow.
on you, my lord. The name is Markham. How can I be of assistance?"
Well, we're just a little curious because of the sideshow outside.
Ah, yes, Engar, yes. He's been quite the talk of the town. This barbarian he's quite dangerous. He's injured 2 of my men during apprehension. He's been convicted of a theft.
My friend Matilda over here is a follower of Tyr, and she was questioning some of the legalities of his arrest.
Well, we attempted to apprehend him after he was caught and found with 1,000 gold that he had lifted from the merchant Brianna Alcott. She is a seamstress. He had come into town a couple of days ago, asking for people to go and assist him in his, I don't know what, wanting people to go over to the tribal town, assisting him in fighting off some witch or some other. Nobody really paid any heed to him. And then Brianna Alcott said that he had broken into her store, held out his sword, and demanded this money. And it's apparent that he was going to use this money to hire mercenaries for his cause. He says this man was found with the money upon him, sleeping on the street, 1,000 gold. Caught red-handed, we tried to apprehend him, and he took out his massive war axe and nearly chopped off one of my men's hands after resisting peaceful arrest.
Hold on a sec. Hold it. You say she was threatened with a sword, yet he had an axe on him?
Aye.
Did he have a sword on him as well?
Well, he has a short sword, probably, for if his axe had gotten stuck in one of my men, he would whip out his short sword.
Was an axe found on him? A sword found on him?
Aye.
Okay. But no one actually, except this Brianna, can substantiate this claim that the money was taken from her by him?
The money was found on his person.
How do you know it wasn't his own money?
Evidence. Look, he has been found guilty by the court. It is out of my hands.
Who was the one to convict him?
It says the town judge convicted him, and he has been convicted in front of a jury. It is out of my hands. I simply doing my job and carrying out his sentence. Though I would personally pick for a much harsher sentence for theft to cut off his hands.
Death seems a bit more harsh than a hand.
It is the law. An outsider from Bryn Shander accused of theft and resisting arrest.
I see. Could you perhaps tell us where this seamstress's shop is?
I would not go in there rushing in. She's a bit jolted. But if you look on the east side of town, it is Brianna's Silks.
Silks, I see. That would explain why she had 1,000 gold on her.
Ah, yes, she's made quite a business for herself. But this event has scared her deeply. Please,
I'm sure
be
it has.
gentle with her if you go to speak to her.
Of course.
And he gives you directions to the shop. And he says, if you ask me, it is better just for the people in town to see an execution of one of these barbarians. He says they are low on hope as it is. And it is sure, I am sure that these barbarians have something to do with this unnatural weather and these beasts roaming about.
Thank you for your opinion.
Aye, short on spirits on this day? If I'm not incorrect, it's midwinter's day, isn't it?
He says it is early winter here in Bryn Shander. The snow is so thick. Normally at this time of year we'd get a few flurries, and the roads would be traversable. This year it has been terrible indeed. Only half the caravans we were expecting actually arrived. We'll be low on supplies, and people will be desperate this year.
Well, at least
terrible year.
At least there was one ship that came in with our crew.
Speaking of which, I should go check in on that.
You head off, Doctor. We'll take care of the
That
rest.
shipment actually wasn't even
Be
going
right
to Bryn
back.
Shander. That shipment was going to Kelvin's cairn with all the hops.
Alright, so I guess once the doctor's warmed up, he's gonna go and go to Donovan's shop
Yeah.
and check in while you guys, I guess, look into, check the Silk Lady's shop.
I also want to ask the barbarian. I want to ask the barbarian who the Ice Witch is. What is known about her?
The barbarian says, he whispers to you in a message. He says, if you want to, I should not even say her name. It is a curse to say her name. He says, if you want to know about her story, you would ask King Jared, the king of my people. It is a sad tale indeed, and I do not wish to invoke her name any further, lest bring her wrath upon us.
Understood.
Okay.
You guys are pulled
Is there
every
anyone?
direction.
Is there anyone in Bryn Shander that could take us there other than you?
He says, if you find a guide, any guide, or you find one of my people somewhere, we can all lead you there. If you go yourself, it will be a difficult journey. Make sure you find maps. But if you're willing to help, you have my gratitude, even in death.
Understood.
I always thought that the barbarian tribes of Icewind Dale were nomadic.
According to what I have read, they usually are. They used to be. They used to follow the reindeer and the other animals.
They have an area where they usually camp down, especially during winter time. And this is where he's leading us. It's the Regard Glacier, where they kind of hang out and roam.
Yeah.
And
Someplace
he's
cold.
told you about a camp that they've made over there, and that's where all his people are.
Okay.
He says they're being. He's giving you a story that they're being assaulted by a rival tribe.
Well, I would like
And
to
the-
speak to the seamstress, and other people would like to
Okay,
do other things.
who wants to go first?
You
Give me
guys
1
can go.
second. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm still listening.
You guys can go. The doctor will go after.
All right. I don't know who wants to come with me to question the seamstress.
Oh, I'm coming along.
I'll join you
Sure, if it's
Okay.
warm.
if it's warm.
If it's out of the wind, it's got to be warm.
Maybe you should already retire to the inn.
Why don't we send someone to go get a room or
Yeah.
rooms?
Why don't you go ahead to the inn and arrange rooming
Okay.
for us?
I can do that.
You need to do that. You're almost an icicle at this point.
Right.
There's
So then, me and Schmigel and Eldrin, we go to the seamstress.
Okay, you guys easily walk over and find Brianna Silks. It's clearly labeled, and it's a very fancy-looking shop. You look around and you can see that there are mannequins set up at the window with very fancy-looking attire and silks.
Wonderful. I take a moment to admire the couture of Icewind Dale.
Oh yes, you look at it and it is so not like the cold environs. I mean, it's so lively and spring. The fashion is so spring-like. It's just absolutely lovely.
If it turns out that this woman is innocent, I might have to come back here.
I don't know. I've never felt too comfortable around silks. Always felt weird to me, like I'm wearing nothing at all.
But that's the point.
Schmigel, have you ever worn silks?
I think he's maybe.
Except for that one time they forced you to wear it.
I think he just remembers that one time where they forced him into a suit and it's like, ugh. Uh-oh.
You guys walk
yeah.
inside the shop. And as you open the wooden door, there's a little bell attached to the door that alerts whoever's in the back. And then you hear somebody in the back says, "I'll be right with you." Very pleasant voice. And you look around, and throughout the shop there are a lot of mannequins just set up with these very, very beautiful, fancy-looking attire.
Is it men's attire or women's attire?
It's women's attire.
Only women. Okay.
It's clearly very, very nice and very highbrow.
Okay. Yeah, I browse while I wait for her to come out.
Well, you see this one dress that's just to die for. And then she comes out. She says, "Yes, can I help you?" And you see, it's a lovely middle-aged woman with her hair braided up in a bun. She's wearing some fancy silks herself. She does not look like she is in shock or anything like that, as the sheriff has said. And she comes over with a gleaming smile.
I say, "Yes, this dress looks wonderful."
Oh yes, this is the stock of the crop this year. And she kind of starts straightening up the dress, and she says, I do believe this would fit you wonderfully. And she says, "Well, these silks are just fresh from Kaohsiung." And she says, I have embroidered them myself with every last stitch, and they are absolutely lovely. I mean, you will be the queen of the ball if you own something like this." She starts lavishing.
Can I inspect the dress to see if it's really as fine as she is saying, or is it obvious that it is?
It seems so.
Okay. She's all right. I'd like to ask her if she has a fitting room or anything like that.
She says, "Oh, what? Right this way," and she assists you in trying on this. She takes the dress off the mannequin, and she assists you while you go back there, because it's there's a corset on and all the stuff that you need a person to put it on you.
Yeah, I'm used to this kind of thing.
So as you guys go to the back, she's assisting you in putting on this dress, and then I guess Schmigel and Eldrin, you're just looking at each other.
What are these, slingshot bows? They got two huge crevices in them. Hey, some kind of weapon or something. Schmigel's looking at a bra or something.
You see some undergarments and lingerie.
Looks like Schmigel certainly hasn't gotten around in a while.
He's made of string. How do you fit? I don't
Doctor's
even
not
want
here,
to know.
remember?
I don't even want to know.
Okay, and back in the dressing room,
Yeah.
Brianna is fitting this dress on you.
Yeah, I want to.
And she says, is that not just the image of glamour and beauty? As she shows you, presents yourself to you in the mirror with this dress on.
Yeah, I admire myself, and I say it is truly a work of art.
She says, "You must take this dress. I insist."
Well, let's see. It is truly a wonderfully made dress, but this climate seems non-conducive to such fine.
Oh, of course, you would not wear this outside. This is for a ball.
Where is anything like that to be had in these parts?
Oh, it's just, Lord Havishire has a ball every other month. I'm sure ladies such as yourself has some connections where you can easily get an invite.
I suppose.
And she says, and she comes back with these matching lace gloves. She says, these would go perfectly, like sky blue, with little flowers and stuff on them.
You have a wonderful shop, by the way. It's hard to believe that a robbery took place here not a few days ago. And
then she puts her hand on her mouth. She's like, "Oh, you heard of that terrible business? Yes. Why, and she starts fanning herself. Why, I'm still having nightmares of it. That horrible villain who had come in here.
What was he
assaulting me."
like?
He says, he was gruff and angry and so barbaric. He just screamed at me and he said, "Give me all your silks." And I said, "No, by heavens, no, I would never give you my silks. These silks belong to the people of Bryn Shander." And then he put the knife to my throat and says, "Give them to me or I slit your throat." And she's kind of being melodramatic about it.
I'm not great at acting, but
Yeah.
I try to act along with being
A
shocked.
performance check. Performance check. We never get to
You
do
can do a
this.
performance check if you want to act along.
All right, let's see. It is true that this is a skill that you never get to use.
So use it when you can.
Only bards really. Well, she doesn't.
That's why.
She doesn't even notice that you're not acting along very well. She's so caught up in her own little representation of the events.
Yeah.
And he says, and then he just went ahead and grabbed that fine calcium silk that I had imported but 2 weeks ago. And I was like, "What will the ladies wear if you take that?" And I put my own body in the way, and I say, "You have to kill me if you want these silks." And he says, "I will gladly kill you, lady." And then thank God, another man had walked in just in time, where this beast of a man was startled, and he just grabbed my silks and whatever he could take his grubby paws on and ran out of my store. Oh, I almost had a heart attack.
It does sound like an awfully frightening tale. As I listen, I tried to listen for any inconsistencies in her story and what we've heard before.
The entire story.
You can do an insight.
Yes.
You can do an insight to match it up to the story.
Yeah, I mean, clearly she's talking about a knife, and clearly we've heard about a sword before. But I'll roll to see how much Mathilda notices about all
If
this.
you're proficient in insight, doesn't it still give you an edge?
One thing that really stands
I am
out to you
proficient.
is that Brianna told you that this man has stolen her fine Kalasham silks. He has been found with 1,000 of her gold.
Yeah, and she didn't mention that he took any gold.
No, she did not mention this in her story to you.
Okay.
Her story was a little bit over the top
Yes.
to begin with.
Clearly. I'd like to ask also about the man who scared him away. He must have been quite brave.
Oh yes, it was Lord Havisham himself who had come in here to buy silks for his wife. He had come in and that beast of a barbarian was just frightened, so frightened to see a true gentleman armed with a rapier that he just burst out of his room.
I understand. I hear Lord Havisham is quite the appearance.
Oh, he is only the most handsome man in town. If only he weren't married. And she starts fanning herself again.
Don't I know it? I say this dress is truly wonderful, but perhaps I shall return later when I am in a position to take it off your hands.
She says, "Oh, don't wait too long. I saw Lady Windenshire iron that dress earlier today. I don't want to see that old hag in one of my fine dresses. You are such a vision of pure beauty and grace. Would just be such a perfect fit for such a creation."
You are too kind. And I gesture that I'm ready to change back into my plate armor,
Yeah, she helps you back into your armor.
which is before I do that, by the way, I want to go to the front of the shop and show the dress off to the guys.
Hey, very nice.
And after I've given them let them see a different side to Mathilda, because they don't know, they have heard that she's a lady of noble origins, but haven't
Can I
seen
have a
her.
performance check?
What are you performing?
His sincerity at her appearance.
That would be deception, I guess. If you're, are you being honest or are you being?
The doctor would just wouldn't. If the doctor were there, he wouldn't be acting. That's why he didn't want to go into that shop. He wanted to avoid it at all costs.
You can
Come
roll
on,
if you
let the
want.
dice roll. I
Roll
want to
whatever you'd like. You don't have to roll, really. You don't
We
want
like
to.
rolling.
Yeah. Sometimes you want to roll in order just to determine how you want to roleplay it.
I just wanted to see if whether Schmiggle's jaw would just fall or not.
I mean, Mathilda does look really gorgeous in this dress.
Are you sure?
Well, the shopkeeper told me so. And she was certainly not exaggerating in the least.
Did you do an insight check to see if she was lying about it? Maybe she actually meant to say you look fat in it.
The inside check is Schmiggle's reaction. I mean, of course, I need someone to verify that this dress looks nice on me. Someone who's not trying
I'm
to
not
sell
sure how you look in this dress. It depends on how you look in general and what your body's shaped like.
I mean,
I wouldn't be
Mathilda
able
is-
to determine exactly how you look in this dress. I'm guessing that with a lot of martial training as a paladin,
Yeah.
you probably are pretty muscular.
she's quite strong. Yeah.
You're probably
She's
a little
not
bit more
the
on the
most
muscular
elegant.
side. So
In fact, she
you
has
wouldn't
a-
look absolutely ravishing in this dress.
No.
Not as much
She-
as this lady has put you on for.
Mind you, dwarvish
Mathilda
women
is-
are very muscular in themselves as well.
Okay. Well, it depends on Schmiggle's taste as well. So I mean, I can't determine all of that. It's up to you.
What taste?
I mean, Mathilda is much more strong than elegant.
What taste are you talking about, John? I didn't know Schmigel had taste.
Schmigel, did you want to roll, or
Sure, what should I roll for?
Whatever you want.
that's up to you?
You roll what you want.
I thought you were doing the performance check.
Roll a foolhardy check if you want, or a sanity check.
How about
Sanity check.
Matilda? You do a performance check to do a pirouette.
Oh, well, at least it's not a dexterity thing.
In a dress, it would be with disadvantage.
You stumble a little bit.
Yeah, that's that -1 dexterity
Yeah.
coming out.
Schmigel kind of smiles and nods and said, "You look lovely, dear. You look lovely."
All right, I go back to the back and change in the plate armor that I walk much more comfortably.
Yeah, this
in.
is a good 40 minutes of changing in and out of your armor into this dress.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
the
I know.
guys are waiting outside.
The guys are probably bored to
they
death.
do have a guy chair outside for when men visit with their wives.
Schmigel necessarily can't sit in it because he's got full plate mail on, and if he sits down, the chair just goes.
Yeah, this is a more elegant store than adventurers are.
Brianna, as you guys walk out, Brianna just says, "Oh, please, you have to come down. I have so many other dresses for you to try."
I would love to. Another time, perhaps.
She curtsies and as you guys walk out.
Yeah, I make a metal curtsy. And someone else's storyline.
Yes, it's time for let's go with the doctor. Doctor, where you at? Eldrin, where are you at? Is he here?
Eldrin.
I'm here with the same. I'm at the same.
Oh,
script.
you were
Yeah.
looking at any reaction, I guess, with that little sideshow.
Yeah. I'll meet you outside.
Doesn't seem very interested. Okay, Doctor, you're going over to I'm guessing
Donovan's.
Donovan's shop.
Yep.
You make it over to Donovan's shop, and it seems to be a small little adventuring gear and weapons shop that you get to. It's very plain, not very fancy. You walk inside, and there's a small counter. There's a bunch of equipment that look very mundane behind the counter, and you see Donovan there. He's got a little cap on. And, He's a short, fat man sitting there. He's counting some silver. He looks at you. He's like, "How can I help?"
Well, when I walked in, I was twirling my staff around and I was whistling to myself. And when he asked that, I look over and I'm saying, would you happen to be Donovan?
Yes, that's me.
I believe you were expecting me. I am the doctor.
Who?
And I give a sweeping bow. I'm like, and when he says who, I just stumble a little, as if I'm hurt that he hasn't heard of me before.
He kind of just looks at you confused. He's like, I don't need a doctor. Those warts, they went away.
Lovely information. Didn't need to know that. I believe you just received a shipment that I brought up north.
His eyes open up a little bit. He's like, "Oh, you brought that shipment." Says, then you must be a friend of Arun's.
Yes, I was. I've never met him, but yeah, yes, you could say I'm a friend of his.
Do you know where he is?
I was gonna ask you the same question.
I haven't seen him in over 2 weeks.
Where did you see him last, or what news did you hear of him last? Did he have any plans, or?
Well, I don't. He says, "I don't know if I should be talking to you about what Arun's doing."
I'm gonna.
He
go over
looks at
to
you and gives you a kind of a suspicious look.
I'm gonna go over to him and I'm gonna pull out my Harper's pin and I'm just gonna show it to him. I'm gonna do it in such a way that people anyway who would happen to be looking around wouldn't notice.
Oh, the store is it's just you and him.
Okay,
And
so
then
I'm gonna show my Harper's
He
pin.
sees your Harper pin and he nods.
And I tell you, you can tell me whatever, everything about Arun that you know. For it is, my ears are safe ears.
He says, he tells you, he's like, Arun's been working on something lately. I believe he's found some evidence of lycanthropes here in Bryn Shander. And he's been investigating that, but he went missing about 2 weeks ago.
That explains the
he wrote word to get the silvered weapons, and he asked me to expect them here. But I didn't think that he would go missing so quickly.
This is troubling. Of the Lycanthrope Pass, did he have any suspicions who might be one?
He doesn't really tell me much. This is really for my protection, he tells me. But I've seen him hovering around town, in some of the shadier parts of the town, the brothel and whatnot. I think he probably may have gotten himself mixed up with something bad.
Was he prone to hang out with bad company, other than just when he was investigating?
Well, no. He's a very secretive man. He doesn't tell me everything that he does. He says, if you'd like to take a look at his room, I'm sure you'd find something useful.
That would be good. Where does he normally reside?
And Donovan leads you upstairs and shows you Arun's room.
Okay. I'm gonna look around and I guess I'll perform an investigation check.
Yeah, you need an investigation check. The room is very, very plain. You can see some empty scrolls on the desk with a pen, and from what you can tell, the pen has recently been used. The inkwell is dry. However, you don't find anything with writing on it. It's clear that someone has been writing something recently, but you don't see any sort of writing on it. And when you look a little bit further, you see on the floorboards, one of the floorboards is loose. So you pry the floorboard out.
I was just about to say I was going to do that. Look for loose floorboards or loose parts around. So yeah. Okay, so I'll pull the floorboard out.
And when you pull the floorboard, it looks like it indented inside. There was some sort of book. You see the indent of a book. But there's no book there now. Something was stored here. You find a small piece of paper on a scroll. The piece of paper has like a small diagram with a couple of names on it. One of the names says Merrick the Shank. The second name says Slim, just the word Slim. And then both of these have circles around it, and the circles have arrows drawing to another circle, and there's a question mark in the circle.
Okay.
And then
All
there's
right.
also on the back of the paper, it says I must speak to Mithan again in regards to these concerns.
Methan?
Mithan, Mithann. So
Okay.
So you see, you get a couple of names out of this, but nothing helpful enough.
I look over to Donovan, and I ask him, tell me, what do you know of Merrick the Shank and a person named Slim? I've heard of Slim, but...
He's like Merrick the Shank. I have not heard that name before. Slim, everybody knows Slim. He's a shady thief hanging around town. I think he's involved in a thief guild in town. He leans over and says, "You don't want to mess with the thief guild." And he puts his fingers to his mouth. He says, "They're very dangerous. They kill unscrupulously.
That sounds like a
always
challenge.
hovering below the law."
I look over to him and I say, really, that sounds like a challenge you're giving me.
He said, "No, I assure you, it's not a challenge. I'm simply telling you as a warning. If you choose to get involved in this affair, if the thief guild is involved, you would want to be careful. They have many resources, and their connections go beyond what you can even imagine."
Well, fear not. I will look into Arun's disappearance. That's one of the reasons why I have come.
He says, if you need those the weapons that Arun has procured, I have them stored in my warehouse.
Seems like a good plan. Very well. I will need to acquire a few. What was the inventory that was sent? That I brought up.
You brought up silvered weapons, so there's a huge collection of silver daggers, short swords, and long swords.
I'm gonna take one of the short swords with me.
He says you have to go. I stored them away in my warehouse. They're very safe there.
Okay. Then could you please send some weapons up to our? We don't have rooms yet.
He
Very
says,
well.
"Why don't you come back later?
Okay.
Come back later. I can give you the weapons that you want. I don't know how. I can't verify where these lycanthropes are, but if you are truly fighting some lycanthropes, you would want these silvered weapons, I would imagine."
I'm gonna give him a list of our party's main weapons. So, I guess if there's a silver hand axe, a silvered greatsword, a silvered longsword, a silvered short sword for myself.
He says the only things he doesn't know, but the only things you know are in that crate are silvered long swords, short swords, and daggers.
No arrows? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I asked for a few long swords and short swords.
He says, "Very well."
Yeah.
He says, "Why don't you come back tomorrow, and I will have them ready for you."
Okay, sounds good. I'll be here at dawn, likely. And I'm gonna leave, and I'm gonna try to go join back up. Or let's see, is there anything else? I ask him. By any chance, do you know of a person by the name of Sir North? Or I've heard of a man.
He thinks about it for a second, and he says, "Let me think. I don't remember anything. If something comes up, I'll let you know."
Please let me know.
And you're gonna head back to the rest of the party.
Okay.
Castanar, what are you up to?
Castanar has left us.
He has? Where'd he go?
Well, he sent a message.
Yes.
He's not feeling well.
He's all sick.
He indeed is sick, and his character is sick as well, freezing him. He went into the inn and got a room and is trying to warm up.
What inn did he go into?
I'm assuming he went into the fine inn.
Okay. Then Mathilda is happy as a peach.
Okay. I'm assuming I get back to, or I get to the clothing shop before Matilda's even done changing.
I don't know, do you?
I don't know. How long did it take me versus how long does it take them?
It took you like an hour or so. So I think
Okay,
by the
so I
time
guess
you
I
come
would-
back,
They're about then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we meet up, and Castanar has arranged for rooms for us in the fancy inn.
he tells you he's under the weather and he needs some time to recuperate.
Yeah. We can all clearly see that, and we wish him the best.
So Matilda, what do you say we do about a barbarian friend? Lady seems a bit shifty, and she looks like she's good friends with the High Sheriff.
Do I assume that they filled me in on what they found out?
Do you?
Well, did they? Did you
I
guys
say
tell me?
I assume that we like retire to the inn to like
Okay.
tell each other the stories of what happened.
You guys enter the inn. This is
For
once
now.
again called Kelvin's Comfort. It's one of the most popular inn and taverns in town. Owing to its existence of stock dwarven ales and brandies, although the common room is bedecked with dwarven craft of Battlehammer make. Very
Oh, I thought
nice.
we went to the fancy inn.
Oh, this is Kelvin's Comfort. This is the
Oh, that-
fancier one. The
Okay.
other one is worse.
Okay.
Ghost Dog's Rest.
All right.
It's like a dwarven themed restaurant. It's not actually of dwarven make. You can tell that there's many of the people sitting there are actually nobles, and they just like the theme of it. And you can
Okay.
see that there's a big Battlehammer emblem, and Battlehammer is a well-known dwarven clan.
All right. Well, personally, I'm not so interested in the inn itself as I am in solving this mystery that we find before us.
Schmegel, Helga meets you in the inn.
Hey, Helga, how you doing?
Oh, she says, "Oh, absolutely wonderful, my lord. Oh, thank you so much. I want to see that you're properly rewarded for all your bravery, but I haven't the coin." She says, "Please, come with me to Kelvin's cairn. Me uncle, Stokely, he will reward you with a grand welcome. A proper dwarven manner. Please, all your friends too, even the elves. Bring them too, please." She says, "My caravan is stocked and ready to go to Kelvin's cairn at a moment's notice." She says, I will need somebody to accompany me there. You've done such a great job accompanying me here. I do wish that you come with me to Kelvin's cairn."
I am perplexed by the fact that she has a full caravan now. Or is this just the same things that she had before?
It's the same things.
Okay.
She is missing one wagon, but she's forgiven
Yeah.
for that.
And she didn't
That
have any
elf.
money to hire anyone.
No, she doesn't.
Just trying to see on the map, is Kelvin Claire's north or south or...
Kelvin's cairn is to the east, a little bit north.
Giant mountain.
It's a giant mountain, and that's she tells you that's where the dwarves reside. They have a valley beside the mountain where their people reside.
And the barbarians are from the north.
The barbarians are far more north and to the east, in a very different direction to go. You have to
I
walk
see,
around
yeah.
the mountain.
I
And
feel like
she says, but Lord Ironbelly, you must come.
because you cannot afford anyone else.
He says, "I'm well known around here. If I had to, I can hire some mercenaries on commission, but I'd rather have you, me friends." She says, "Here, let's have some ale."
Hey,
got
let's
a
have
bar
some ale
tab
to
here.
celebrate going through the avalanche.
Wow, we survived quite a ordeal. And she brings you all some ale to drink.
Hey, cheers!
She says, "Now let me tell you of me Uncle Stokely. He's a great man. We be mining silver, and I think he's struck the vein of a lifetime. Said we be as rich as the original Brunner himself one day. She says, my blood is half battle hammer. And she points to the battle hammer symbol on the in the wall.
Hey, no kidding.
True. Says, me uncle's great uncle's nephew, knew Brunner battle hammer himself. I lived in Little Hall for quite many years in my youth. Says, I'm from some good stock, and she kind of bats her eyes at you.
I hail much more south from here. If I can pull up my bio.
She says, but when you come to when you come down to Kelvin's Cairn, we will show you a true dwarven welcome. We will give you the accommodations befitting a true dwarf, not these antsy-pantsy human little cracking beds and silks. Give you a nice dwarven welcome with a good meal, good lodging.
What do you say,
That
friends?
sounds good.
Shall we all go to see the dwarves for a bit?
I think we're a little busy here in town first. There's a few things I need to look into.
We
Before
can't
we
let that
leave.
man freeze to death
Of
unjustly.
course. No. We got.
He's a barbarian.
He's a
not
man.
He's a
And,
man, but he's an evil man.
Hey,
He
wait.
killed some guards and he's stealing stuff.
You never killed any guards.
He almost killed a guard he almost chopped someone's man's hand off.
He
He's a
killed no
ruffian.
one. To kill him seems excessive.
It's just the laws of this place. Don't. And by the way, don't cause any trouble. The laws are harsh for foreigners.
Anyone should be equal before the law.
No, not here in Bryn Shander. Although one thing in Bryn Shander I do have to say is the Lady Professor Shade has improved the laws for women of Bryn Shander. Have you ever heard of women having rights? Rights of their own virtue and rights of marriage. Yes, Lady Professor Shade has done that. Nowhere in the realms have I even heard of it. It makes her very unpopular, of course, but that's a
It's understandable.
but that is a win for women everywhere. And she says, "I'll drink to that."
My father
Hey,
always
women's
used to
rights.
say
Hey.
that a daughter's best occupation is wife.
Aye, and here with a new law, with a woman's right to her own virtue, a woman cannot be married off without her consent. Although sometimes in terms of true consent, sometimes these things are stretched. But this is a move in the right direction. This is forward thinking, I tell you.
It is certainly different.
One day these humans are gonna be like us dwarves, where women are working in the forge like they ought to and growing beards, you know.
Yes. Why? Mathilda's not too stoked about this idea.
I think it's a fantastic idea. I've always been one man short whenever I've been carrying the logs. I've been having
You should see the beard that I grow when I'm amongst the people. When I go into the realms of humans, a bit unsettling, so I shave it. But when I'm among my own people, I grow a grand silky beard. Beautiful, I tell you. And she shows you like a little drawing, a little rocket of her with a beard.
The doctor's
look at that.
the doctor's trying to hide his disgust. He doesn't like hairy men.
Mathilda doesn't think this is very attractive either,
No, but this is something.
but she's far too polite to show it.
the dwarves from the south. They always curl their beards. Do they do that in the north too?
She says, "I." She says, "We braid them, we curl them, we braid them." She says, "With such elaborate braids, beautiful, I tell you." And the women, oh, the silkiness of their beards.
Hey,
Why,
you know,
once you see them, Lord Idali, you wouldn't want to leave. I tell you.
It reminds me of these things. And Schmigel holds up his half of the beard, and it's got some weights on it. Hey, these were passed down from my grandfather.
And she says, come to Kelvin's cairn. He says, we will get you some most beautiful beads for your beard.
It is a most generous invitation.
Out of the finest silver mined directly from the mountain.
And I hope that someday soon we'll be in a position to accept, but for now, pressing matters call for our attention.
Says, if you want, I can wait a couple of days. But no more than that. The dwarves, they need their ale.
Hey, I understand. What do you say, a couple days?
Couple
should
of
get out
days. Sure.
We shall see. Is she leaving us, or are we gonna be alone for a while?
She's told you that she'll wait a couple of days, and she goes off to her own room.
Okay. I look over at everyone. Concerning our barbarian friend, I'm not going to let him freeze out there.
The story that the seamstress told me seemed off on multiple occasions. It was clear to me that she was not speaking truthfully. She spoke of him pointing a knife at her, and of taking her silks rather than her money. This story seemed to make head. It didn't seem to have any part of it meeting the truth.
Can we hide him with Donovan?
I would assume so. I'm gonna go back to, but I do not think we could wait that long. Jonathan's probably closed up shop by now. We would need I'm proposing that we break him out tonight before he freezes.
Oh.
We will need a place to hide him.
Brute force seems unwise. Perhaps
We don't need brute force. I can handle the distractions that we need, but I will need to recover my spells before we go out. After a day fighting yetis and avalanches.
It's around 3 p.m.
Okay.
So if you need a 4-hour rest, it's going to be towards the evening time once you're done.
Exactly. So when it gets dark, I was thinking that I would be able, if we get close enough.
And it's the 25th of September or late.
Okay.
Just to
Wait a minute.
I'm keep reminding you of the dates so you know.
I think that I can get close enough and cast a darkness spell over the area. If Eldrin, if you would get close enough to pick the locks on his chain and disappear, I can make him invisible.
Both of us invisible.
I could make both of you invisible.
Wait a minute, I got an idea. It might be a strange one, but it might work. Matilda, I'm gonna need your help a lot.
Of course, my lord.
Now, you're a paladin, right?
Aye.
Suppose you take him on as an apostle.
Yes.
The doctor
you can
starts
vouch
laughing.
for him. You can say that he is sentencing a trial as your apostle. He'll learn the ways of the law.
A barbarian would never submit to such a thing.
You never know. He might catch on quicker than everybody else. And before you know it,
I've read
we've
up
got a
about
new
these people.
servant. We've got a new friend. It all works out.
He'd be much more closer to becoming our friend if we were to simply get him out and pledge to help his cause.
Yes, but breaking the law in a town that it's more apprehend for us to get put on a stake and freeze to death.
I also have a secondary. I don't intend you guys to get caught. I intend to get myself spotted.
Oh,
I've made contact with my Harper's. Well, I talked to my Harper's contact. Apparently, a friend of ours who has gone missing that I need to find goes by the name of Arun. He's disappeared, and he's left traces that the Thieves Guild might be involved. If I take an act of thievery, and I get spotted, not by the law, but by onlookers, I might be able to get approached and infiltrate their ranks and find out more.
You can commit a thievery anywhere.
Yes, but it has to be something that stands out. I
I'd
have
rather
to show
not
that I have
you be
skill.
spotted in relation to this, which could lead back to our group.
That's why you guys don't get caught.
As long as everything goes as you foresee it.
It's a secondary concern. This I'd rather get the barbarian out first, and give myself a. I guess it'd be, what would you call it? Streetwise advantage. Or
Elder, what's your opinion?
Secondary.
I was thinking of maybe a disguised self.
No, you'd be seen coming close. You don't want to be seen at all.
If I disguise myself?
Yeah, but as what? Only guards don't let anyone nearby.
Well, how about disguise the person who's causing the distraction, so that they don't relate us to the new people in town?
Well, I was thinking that we'd go out at night. I would cast darkness over the area, and you could slip in. If you had a disguise self cast on you, you could slip in and out without being spotted easily. And even if you were spotted, you wouldn't be recognized. And if you pick his locks, I can make him invisible on his way out. Of course, I would be somewhere in the shadows, but my bright yellow robe should draw attention.
Why don't you just cast us both invisible and see if I can pick the locks fast enough?
Yeah, but then the guards would see him getting out and turning invisible. If I cast darkness over the area, that gives an advantage. They won't know he's breaking out exactly.
How can I
will be
pick
a lot-
anything?
And if
Harder
anyone
to
can cast silence, even better.
It
I
would
can
be a lot
get
harder
out.
to pick the locks in the darkness.
Yeah, that's exactly what, yeah.
Oh, right. Well, I could always cast knock on it and just open it, but I'd need someone to cast silence to
I
completely
can cast
muffle it.
silence.
Okay, I could go in then, and then I'll get the barbarian out. You guys would not need to be
On the other hand,
spotted.
we could bribe him way out.
You could. You're definitely rich enough.
Whatever method you choose, an innocent man should not be put to trial like this.
But can you really wait for bribery? You have to talk to the proper officials. The proper arrangements have to be made. He'll be near frozen.
There's
if not
only two
dead
guards.
by the time they get out. You want to bribe the guards themselves.
If we
Look
go
the
to the
other way.
if we go to the Rengard Glacier, he will be. I mean, he'll probably won't come back to this town anyway.
If you have some
Once
kind
we
of
get-
magic to persuade the guards,
I could.
Oh, how about a
I-
friend?
Just a warning: if you cast a spell on the guards, most of the time they'll know.
Suggest they don't. If I cast suggest, they won't know.
The guards here, you notice that they carry little scrying stones to detect magic. Part of the you noticed them while you saw the guards.
Okay.
So if you can try these techniques, but you may get found out if you do them.
Oh, of course. I wouldn't mind having suspicion cast on myself. I'm already a shady enough character as it is. No need for you guys
yeah,
to get
but
your hands
the
dirty.
problem is you're associated with us when we walk downtown. we
Everyone
don't want
has
to get
seen you
picked up
fight the
because
Yetis
of what
with
you're
us.
doing.
Yeah. Well, right now, you guys.
You just need to disown me. It's
You
a
guys are
simple-
known around town. You guys are known for. PD has spread the word that you guys have helped fight off the Yetis.
So let's keep our reputation positive.
I feel
Like
like
I said,
if
I
we
don't
can
intend to
walk
get
the
caught
wa-
by
If we
the
can walk
superior.
the way of the law, then that should be our first option. And I
I'm
think
not letting
Iron
him
Belly's
freeze tonight.
Yeah,
Wait a minute,
but
you're not
any
intending-
option
wait a
you
minute.
like.
If you guys do not intend
just-
to help me and get him out tonight, I shall make my move.
Suppose
It would be easier to have help for it, but I can most certainly do it on my own.
Suppose we could
I'm
pass an
actually-
illusion on those two guards to make them think that I am being attacked by some sort of monster, and they have to free the barbarian to.
That could be arranged, but why would there possibly another Yeti has come into town?
Exactly, and if saving the life of a lord could possibly vouch for him.
Possibly, yes. That would be a good idea. Very well, Schmigel. Let's give your idea a try this evening. But if it looks like it's not going to work, I shall spring into action and I shall free the barbarian. Does that sound like would you agree with this?
At this point, from the inn, you no longer hear the screams of that barbarian that you were hearing before.
I wonder if he's taking a rest or he's just
Can we see him from like outside the door of the inn?
You can't see him from the inn, but you can certainly walk out and take a look. As you
Yeah.
walk out and take a look, you see that he is unconscious on the stake
Okay.
at this point. It's been like an hour or so. He's been
Yeah.
freezing out there.
Yeah, we understand that, but we also have analyzed that he won't likely die within the next few hours.
You'd have about a day.
Well, I said I said he would not last 24 hours. I didn't say exactly how long he
Yeah,
would
but
last.
that's not what we wanted
come
to
on.
know. If you,
That's- yeah,
that's
you're
not the
twisting our
information we
words.
No,
asked for.
I said he would not last 24 hours.
Well,
I would have
That's
asked.
not
For,
what we
I was
wanted to
asking
know.
for like the maximum amount of time he lasts.
Maximum amount of
Yeah.
time is 24 hours, but he won't.
yeah, the minimum amount of time he's going to last.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
that's. I mean,
That's
if
what
you're
my
talking about the
message
minimum, he could die within the hour. Somewhere between that, your check puts you somewhere between that. You can't identify exactly how long he's going to have without doing a close examination, which the guards won't let you get close enough to do. Right now, he just seems unconscious. You see him still breathing. There's still air coming out of his mouth.
I
He's
asked
clearly not dead yet.
Eldrin,
Yeah.
send him a message. See if how long he can last.
Ah, good idea. I'll ask him. Oh, so the message spell is he whispers, but no one can hear the whisper. So I guess his mouth moves.
He tells
That's
you,
how it's
"Save my
described.
people," as you and you can tell it's a little broken up. That's his message back to you.
And we plan on saving you too.
We cannot save his people quite as soon if we lose him.
I can assume we've had a short rest.
You're taking a short rest.
No, but we
No,
can
like,
assume that.
as we've been talking in the.
You've had a short rest.
Okay, so I've got at least 2 levels, 2 spells back. Okay. Very well. It does not look like we can wait much longer. Do you wish to give it a try, Schmigel?
Let's do it. So
Very well.
So what's the plan?
Schmigel's gonna try a diversion, and
not so much a diversion as a, "Come help me! I'm being attacked by a giant yeti."
just so you know, this could very well actually hurt you.
Oh, I know, but I'm tough.
We'll say since he knows it's gonna be an illusion, he'll have an advantage on the intelligence save. Would that work?
If he knows it's an illusion, it's just
Yes, he knows.
knows, right?
If he knows, he knows.
Okay.
I knows the nose.
Yeah.
But you're gonna still have to pretend to get hurt, at least.
Listen, if
But
you're
you'll have to do a
what spell are
performance
you
check.
casting on him?
Before you do this,
Phantasmal Force.
Phantasmal Force. Only he sees the illusion.
It's
Oh,
only in his
really?
mind.
Yeah, only the target sees the illusion. The guards
Oh.
will not see the illusion. You'd have to cast something like an illusion spell, like a minor
minor
illusion.
illusion.
Yeah, minor illusion.
I can do
I don't
that.
know if you can make something as big as a yeti.
Yeah, it wouldn't really be believable either, since it wouldn't make sound.
No,
Yeah,
my
only
minor
Schmigel
illusion
can see
can
the
make sound
illusion
and
if you cast it
visuals.
on him.
My minor illusion can make sound and visuals, but it can only make something about the size of a person.
Could you use
Nice.
disguise self to disguise yourself as a yeti?
I wouldn't disguise myself as
Or
Yeti.
someone
I don't think
else?
we can be a Yeti.
How about you?
I can't change size.
No, you can change size a bit, so we picked the biggest person, Mathilda.
Disguise self surely applies only to self.
Oh yeah.
So,
Wait a minute, I got an idea.
What?
Let's put it this way. Me and Matilda walk down the street,
1 foot shorter or taller.
and just as we're passing by the barbarian, I pretend to have a heart attack. And I pull open like one of these tomatoes, and I squeeze it in my mouth and I'm coughing up blood.
Lord, where are we to find a tomato in this climate?
A tomato, something that's red and I can squish in me hands.
I give him credit for originality.
And we say only he can protect us. He's got herbs in his hands.
My lord, I don't believe such a plan would work.
All due respect.
Well, we can at least pretend that he knows how to do CPR or something.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't want to risk
in,
my life on it.
in D&D, it's healing spells and resurrection, revivify.
Yeah, there is no mouth to mouth in D&D.
I
No
don't think-
heart massage.
They haven't come up with that yet. I don't think.
Not even the live, damn you, live kind of punching.
Well, that they've come up with, but that has a 0% success rate.
How wide is the road?
Which road?
The road that the barbarian's on.
Oh, he's in the middle of the town square.
Okay.
It's like a 60-foot open area. He's put on public display. It's a public execution.
If we can keep him warm till night, we could attempt a nightly rescue by simply
darkness,
knocking out
you
the
need-
guards.
With darkness and invisibility, I don't need.
I understand, but our getaway would be much harder in the daylight.
It would, but I can. I have 2 second-level spell slots with that short rest. I can cast darkness and 1 invisibility. Invisibility on himself. If I use disguise self as a level 1 spell on myself, then I can get through, bust him out, and then the two of us. He can go one way; he won't be seen, and then I can always alter my disguise self to be
I
an
can
airway.
cast 1 darkness or 1 silence.
I would need oh shoot, because he would be locked. I'd need a level 2 spell to perform knock.
I can also cast Pass Without Trace, and that would give him a +10 on his stealth rolls.
If any of you had any teleportation magic, this would be the time to use it.
I can use 1, but I don't have enough spell slots unless we take a long rest.
Yeah.
Let's see. We might not have that time unless we find a way to keep him warm until then.
None of us have any heating magic.
Yeah, fireball.
Hoping for.
No, they'll just kill.
That would kill
Damage
him and
regulation.
half the people in the town square.
You've got firebolt, maybe.
No, I don't have firebolt.
Firebolt is also would probably damage him. It's just too much heat.
The doctor uses mostly ice and darkness
Yeah.
magic
Which
and
is
deception magic.
fair enough.
Oh, if only you guys had taken some utility spells or something.
Let
I
me
have a
see
few utility spells.
What spells do I have? I have no clue. I have some spells. I'm a paladin. I can cast stuff. Right? Where's my spell book? Do I have anything that's of any use? Let's see.
I believe you have 2 spells at level 4.
I have 3 spell slots.
3 spells.
Let's see. Detect magic, purify food and drink. See, it's not all aggressive.
That's true.
Yeah, but nothing that's going to help me at all.
Well, I could. My minor illusion could easily do a small yeti.
Yes, but it wouldn't make any sound. Only
No, it
appear.
would make sound. I have the illusionist school
Oh.
of magic, so I can do both at once.
I see.
So that's I can do I can make your yeti attack you, Schmigel.
Is there a structure we can set on fire?
A stretcher?
If we do too much,
Structure. A building.
Without somebody's home being somebody's home or business?
You look around, and most of the structure, most of the buildings around here are either like government type buildings around the town square or shops.
Why don't I try to walk the way of the law and take it up with Lord Havisham?
it will take too long.
Whatever
Does
you
not
guys
have
want
time.
to try, I will roll with it.
Does not have time.
Whatever
Well,
is within
why
your
don't
abilities.
I try that
Of
while
course,
you
you're
try
not
another
gonna
plan?
you're not gonna go and find a dragon to ride into town to
The
rescue.
doctor's not gonna wait for you, Mathilda.
Oh, I mean, if there's a church around here to Tyr, you can talk to the priest. The priest will give you a paper. The paper you'll send off to the sheriff. The sheriff will take the paper, and you can have him in your custody as a...
You ask the barkeep of this place, and he says there indeed is a worship of Tyr in Bryn Shander. There is a holy place in Bryn Shander. What's the name of this place? Oh, I have to look in. I may have to look in the other book to find the name of this place. Ugh. There is a House of the Triad. He tells you that it's Bryn Shander's largest place of worship, and only one that truly deserves to be called a temple. There's other little smaller areas that are houses to benevolent gods. It's an impressive edifice built by the dwarves of Kelvin's Cairn. The temple stands about halfway between the south gate and the central market. When it was first built, it honored the three gods known as the Triad. That would include Tyr, Torm, and Ilmater. So that's a place you can visit if you want to go appeal to the Temple of Tyr.
Well, I understand that for whatever plan my companions have are cooking up, I won't be an essential part of it. So
You can
I
always
feel that-
prepare a safe place of refuge for us to return.
So I will attempt to assist with a plan of my own.
Well, Matilda, you see, how do you go about it? Is that you go up to the priest, you tell him that the poor barbarian is looking for redemption. And through the power of Tyr, you can teach him the meaning of redemption by having him as one of your followers.
I'm going to go out to the barbarian to speak with him and see if he's okay with this.
Well, the guards aren't going to let you near him, and if you talk, you're going to blow our whole plans.
They will let me speak to him.
So you go up to the barbarian and you see that he's a little delirious. As you try to speak to him, he just raises his head and he mumbles, "Save my people.
I can save your people, but I will need your help.
He says, "Where?"
I will need you.
You ask.
I will need you to follow me and seek a path of redemption in the light of Tyr.
Redemption. But I have committed no crime. I need a persuasion check from you for this. It's got to be a pretty high one. This guy is pretty stubborn.
Wait,
Told
I'll
you,
give it inspiration
barbarians.
too. Oh.
You don't have inspiration.
Inspiration is given per game.
Oh, okay.
17 is not bad. He says, "I will not admit to guilt, however, because I have done no crime. But if I must say that I am to follow you, I will do so. But it is my honor that I will not admit to a crime I have not committed."
I understand, my friend. You value justice, as does Tyr. And
Says, but if I must follow you to free me so that I can save my people, I will do so.
good man, I will be back for you as soon as I can. And I hurry off to the temple.
Okay. You
Okay.
Go.
Doctor, what do you want to do here?
The doctor doesn't want to wait, as he thinks it's going to take too long.
Okay.
I told you,
Right.
the
I'm
doctor's
pulling
not
the
waiting
doctor
for
back.
you shenanigans.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
No, you
You're
can't.
not
cut
setting the
yourself in half.
firecrackers inside the house.
Oh, I'm not setting them inside the house. I'm going to set them off in the streets.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
Ready, Schmigel? You're going to be the
No!
diversion. Are you helping me or not? I'm asking him
I'm
straight.
pulling you back because Matilda's got the same idea.
I'm not going to let that barbarian freeze while you wait for her to come back. It may be hours before she returns. He may be dead by then.
The barbarian
If she
looks
wants
all
to
right
help-
to me.
If she wants to help, we will return to the temple, and there we can take refuge.
God's sakes,
Will
Doctor.
you have his life on your hands, Schmigel?
I'm gonna. What do I need to restrain the doctor?
You need to grapple.
Strength.
We're going to do this again?
It's a strength versus, I guess, his dex. Because
Likely, yeah.
Yeah, it will be your strength versus his dex to grapple him.
I don't want to use
So-
any spells to get out of this, because I need my spells to save the barbarian.
The one time that he cannot use magic to get out of it.
Eldrin,
Eldrin, what are you going to
are you on my
do
side?
seeing that the doctor and Schmigel are grappling him?
I would like to just sit down with the doctor somewhere and talk to him.
While I'm being grappled?
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
With Schmigel attached to him.
Well, preferably not. Schmigel
Beat
can
that.
put them in, that's fine.
Yeah, Schmigel rolled
Acrobatics.
pretty high on that one. Yeah, so Schmigel grabs you.
Guys, we don't
What?
need to cause attention.
Schmigel grabs you and I guess sits you down.
I go,
in a
help,
chair.
help! This dwarf is molesting me! Somebody help!
Can I make a roll to run
any
as
guards
fast
come
as
and help
possible?
No, you
Temple.
can make it there very quickly. It's not that far away.
Okay.
You get
Is the
to
guard-
the temple, and you ask around for the priest of the temple, and it is a middle-aged woman named Rierdra.
Reirdra.
Yeah, Rierdra. She herself is a follower of Ilmater, but she tends the temple, which worships all three gods. And as you walk up to her, she notices your dress, and she does a priestly kind of bow, and she says, "Welcome to the house of the Triad, my daughter."
Thank you, priestess. Forgive me, but I am in a hurry. The man on the plaza, his life is in danger.
She says, "That man is a convicted criminal."
He wishes to repent and join Tyr and seek forgiveness, but he cannot if he is to die there. I wish to take him on as my follower.
He says, to redeem a man, to redeem such a criminal is a noble act indeed. However, only the speaker of Bryn Shander has the power to release a criminal already convicted. Duvessa Shane. I am afraid I have no such power to release him.
Would you come with me to convince Lord Havisham? I assume he is the
Oh
one
no,
who
Lord
could.
Havisham is just one of the fancy schmancy nobles. The speaker
Oh, he's
is
not the boss here.
the speaker is Duvessa Shane.
Oh, and she.
She says, "Well, if you are telling me that this man is worthy of such redemption, then of course, my daughter, I shall come with you."
Wonderful, and I hurry with her to the speaker.
Okay. the
Out of-
speaker-
Wherever
out of
this
curiosity,
person
What are
lives.
the requirements for that to happen?
what that?
For redemption, don't you have to first admit to your crime?
Well, she's going by Matilda's word.
Yes, Matilda knows that this guy is not actually
Yeah.
willing to repent.
She's
Okay.
going by his word, and just by her demeanor and her dress, clearly that Matilda is a holy knight.
So she's lying? Is that really in her character? Did she
Matilda's
lie?
character is certainly that she will do anything to achieve
She
justice,
is neutral
including
good.
breaking the law.
She is neutral
Okay.
good. She's not lawful good.
Okay.
So that is okay, I guess.
Yes, no, this
And
is like
in fifth edition, your paladin is not restricted to even good. You can be a chaotic evil paladin, I guess.
Yeah, and then you can be a
you
dark
could be a
one.
neutral paladin. But yeah, Matilda's character is
So-
really that she will do anything to achieve
So
justice as she sees it.
Rierdra follows you to the town hall, and as you enter the town hall, the guards let you pass, of course, seeing that Rierdra is with you, and you enter into a grand hall. It is a hall with kind of multiple seats at the sides, probably for nobility and people of the town to sit as they discuss town issues. On the far end of the grand hall, you see these beautiful draperies, and you see a throne, and you see a woman on the throne. I have a portrait for this woman. Let me show you the portrait, because these are some good portraits. They're the original ones that came with the game. Here's the portrait. Here's the woman that you see sitting on the throne. And right by her side, you see a man, also in very lordly dress.
Okay, but the speaker is the lady, right?
Yes, she's sitting on the throne, and this man is leaning over. He whispers something into her ear, and then she looks very concerned, and she turns to him. She says, "You must find him, and you must find him as soon as possible. All rests on this. He's like, do not disappoint me, Gant. The man says, my lady, I will do my utmost to find the one you seek. And he exits the room. He kind of looks at you briefly. He does a little nod as a greeting as he exits the room. And then she goes back to she looks at you as you enter. And she says, and who might you be?
My lady, it is my honor to make your acquaintance. My name is Matilda Brooke of the Tyran Faith.
And she raises her head and looks at you with this kind of contemptuous look.
You know Rierdra, tender of the temple.
Rierdra bows and says, my lady.
It has come to my attention that there is a man freezing to death on the plaza outside.
She says, yes, I've been told of this, a barbarian, a thief, and an attempted murderer.
This
says
man...
his sentence is being carried out.
Indeed, I would ask you for clemency. This man is a good man, and and he wants to seek redemption for his crimes in the Tyran Faith, and I would like to take him on as my follower, as such to teach him the ways of right and justice.
And she starts kind of like stroking her chin a little bit, and she says, to pardon a man such as this, accused of such a heinous crime, what evidence have you brought forth to me to see that he is deserving of such clemency? And Rierdra, of course, says, well, my lady, of course, she, the faith that ill made her gives redemption to all who seek it. And she says, is this, she says, well, this man is accused and convicted of theft, and the law in our town is very clear for foreigners who attempt theft. And she looks at you with this just piercing gaze. You can tell that she is like no BS.
Perhaps, in this case, exile might be a sentence that is for you just as effective, and yet would save this man's life, a man who has not killed and would not kill.
He says, well, he has gravely injured one of my town guards, and to tell you the truth, perhaps he is a good man, perhaps he is not, but the law is clear.
Just out of curiosity, what does exile mean to someone who is not even part of the town to begin with? What does exile mean to a foreigner?
I would like you to roll a persuasion on her, on this lady. She looks like she's not going to be easy to persuade. She looks like she's iron-fisted.
Yeah. But
Iron Fist is an awesome character.
Mathilda is not that silver-tongued in this instance, but often is.
She says, my lady Brooke, perhaps you must understand that the execution of this man is not simply for his crimes, but also as a need for our people to set an example to the barbarians that they cannot hold us hostage, they cannot threaten us with beasts and shamanistic magic. She says, we have a truce with the barbarians and they broke it.
What tribes do you have a truce with?
She says, we have a truce with the collective tribes, and she points to a scroll that is cased in glass. And you walk over to look at the scroll, and it is a peace treaty. It is between the collective barbarian tribes and 10 towns, and is signed Wolfgar, son of Beornagar. She's like, signed 100 years ago, before, during the alliance. Says, even if it's one tribe breaking this treaty, she says, we collectively hold together as the people of 10 towns, and we will not.
My lady.
Yeah.
surely you will not hold one man's supposed thievery as the breaking of a 100-year-old treaty.
This man is guilty of the crime. He has been found guilty of the crime which he has been accused.
This one man should not represent the entirety of the clans, and therefore should not be punished as an example for the entirety of the clan.
Let's see the next persuasion check.
Come on, dice.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Was that a crit?
No, it's not a crit. She's
It's
just
not
good
a
at
crit.
persuading, usually.
Okay. She says, what you say is true. But that does not absolve this man of his guilt. The law is clear. Says perhaps if there is some way we can treaties with the tribes for them to stop these attacks.
I am certain that he will be most willing to treat us with his leader to come to an agreement, since they too are under attack.
And what of this crime he is accused of?
The crime that he is accused of is one most dire indeed. What was the amount that he was accused of stealing?
He has been found guilty, and the money was found on his person, 1,000 gold.
So the gold has been returned,
Yes.
and the guards have been healed?
One guard is his wounds are grievous. I do not know if he will survive, but the other is doing okay.
If there is fear for his life, I would tend to his wounds myself, if necessary.
We have our clerics tending to him as we speak, but he has been gravely wounded. He has taken a knife through his side.
Indeed, this is a crime that cannot be forgotten and cannot be forgiven.
This
but
man
perhaps
has resisted peaceful arrest, instead choosing to attack the town guard. Of that he does not deny. He denies stealing this gold, but the evidence weighs so strongly against him.
the evidence, as in the testimony of a single shop owner whom I spoke to
The
just
stolen
an hour
gold
ago.
was found on his person.
Gold is gold. There is no way to prove that it was the stolen gold.
But
In fact, no gold was stolen at all from the silk shop.
with that much evidence, that we must hold him guilty. It is enough. He has been found guilty by the court.
I
She says,
understand.
I hear what
But is it not within your power to pardon a prisoner?
It is, but I cannot she says, she kind of leans over a little bit and she says, I'll tell you this, because I can see that you are a strong woman, and I can respect that. She says, you see, this town has come under some great troubles. You see, my very position as the speaker of the town is being threatened as we speak. The confidence that I hold with my people is at stake, that this barbarian be executed. And his crimes are clearly very convincing even to me. I do not feel that he is innocent. She says, if you can prove to me that he is innocent, perhaps I will not have a choice, but his execution has already been carried out. I believe he is dead as we speak.
Yeah, the doctor wasn't waiting for that to happen. Just so you know.
I would like to say, perhaps if you would give us some time, we can gather the evidence that you require. If you but allow us to hold him for 24 hours somewhere safe.
Oh, I need a persuasion.
I understand.
So do I.
Oh, good lord, is that a critical? Is that a critical hit?
Bam!
So that's a
Feel the law!
I'm just saying this is probably too late to stop the doctor.
well,
He can't know that you succeeded. He doesn't know that you succeeded.
I know if
Still
he would
good.
use a message spell or something to talk to me.
She
Yeah,
says,
you'd have to try to talk to
she
him.
motions to one of her guards. She says, bring him before me. Bring the man before me. So the guard goes off to go collect the man while you're waiting at the town hall. So what's going on over there?
I'm
Very
still
likely
holding
the
him back.
doctor has already acted.
All right, guys, I've done well. Don't screw it up
What
too
have
The
you
doctor
done?
has no idea.
Too late.
I know you don't.
Hey, last time I checked, Doctor, I had you pinned down to a chair.
Yeah. Did Eldrin? Did you let
Doctor,
that stand?
what are you doing to escape Schmigel grappling you and holding you in the
We're
chair?
talking to him. I just want to know if I swing an axe onto a chain and it shatters, will I lose invisibility?
If you
It's
attack with an
technically
axe,
an axe.
even a chain, it'll cause enough to make you break your invisibility.
Even
Oh.
if the area is silenced in darkness. Because are you able to cast invisibility on
your
yourself?
invisibility, but the area is in magical darkness. No one's going to see you because it's in darkness, but people will see a darkness spell.
Right. Can I cast? Can he cast invisibility on me if I'm in darkness? If we're in
Yeah,
dark-
you can be in darkness and invisible, but invisibility is moot if you're in darkness.
No, but it's to escape. That's
No.
Yeah.
After I swing the axe, can he cast invisibility on me in the darkness so that I'm visible?
What I need you guys to do is roll an intelligence check so you can organize this like a football play where you meet in a certain spot and cast invisibility.
Yeah. And
Right.
just saying, the doctor is ignoring Schmigel completely. If Schmigel keeps trying to stop him,
Well, he
the
can.
doctor's
he-
not
hold
letting
on.
this guy.
talk.
Doctor, you have to get your way out.
You have to get out of Schmigel's grapple first.
Fireball.
You
Oh,
can't
great.
cast fireball if you're getting. You have to take out a scroll. And
You
read
get
the scroll.
disadvantaged by casting in melee range.
I'm casting it on myself.
It's still casting in melee range of Schmigel.
Let's see. What'd you say? I need an intelligence check?
You need an Arcana check on the fireball scroll.
I'm not doing actually doing fireball. I'm doing for the play.
What do you check? The casting?
No, this is for the play. I'm not casting anything right now.
Okay.
This is the doctor for his strategies. Come on. Let's see.
Here's the plan I'm thinking. You
Mhm.
cast darkness and silence. I go over there, swing an axe, break the chain. Then you cast invisibility on us.
Because
Yeah.
if you stealth up, I don't even need to cast invisibility. I only get one cast of invisibility and one cast, and I can do a cast of. You'll need to do a disguise self on yourself to when you get out.
You can cast invisibility twice, or on two people, right?
Yeah, but if I cast darkness, no, that's a level 3 spell to cast on more than one. I don't have level 3.
Oh.
So
Oh, I see.
here's what I was thinking. You can cast disguise self yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can get close. Then when I cast darkness, you dash in, break the chains. You bring him before when you step out and within line of sight. I can cast invisibility. Invisibility requires one action
On
with
who?
range touch. I have to touch the person to turn it. The barbarian. So I have to touch the barbarian to turn him invisible.
Also,
So
both
I can have-
darkness and
Okay,
invisibility
so I
are concentration
I just
spells.
leave him there, and then you guys pick him up
That's
as
why,
they're chasing me down the street.
Yeah, I can. But the thing with that is that as soon as he steps out of the darkness, I can basically touch, and he turns invisible. So basically, if you if I do it, I can have it arranged so I'm just walking by at a certain point, and just before you even get out of the darkness, I can touch to turn him invisible. So nobody has to see you guys actually being near me. It'll all look like darkness came up and then, boom, he's disappeared. It's like someone teleported him out of the area.
But they'll be looking at me, right?
No, you'll be walking.
Oh,
You
I
don't
see.
need
I'll
to
be
draw
walking
suspicion.
near him. I
No,
see.
you stay out of the darkness spell as if you're just walking by. Darkness, you right on the edge of where my darkness spell would be,
Yeah.
and then just as darkness turns on, you just dash. You were just on the edge of darkness. Nobody knows where you are. Break his chains. You bring him out to where I would be at the rendezvous point, probably on the other side of the darkness spell. I leave my hand out. I feel you step out. You just step out walking. I touch the barbarian, he turns invisible, darkness disappears, and you keep walking away. And you just act surprised as if what was going on, and you pretend all horrified. The barbarian's safe, invisible, and you guys can make an easy getaway without drawing any attention to yourselves. You can just walk away. You don't even have to run.
That would be a tough sell. That's a tricky one. I think it could work.
Got the intelligence to plan that out, so don't worry. If there's one thing the Doctor's good for, is planning complicated schemes that will apparently work. But come on, it works with all my spells. If I make a quick match of it, and you know exactly where I am, it'll work. It's not that complicated. I can hold it, and then since it's only timing that the darkness spell will only deactivate once the invisibility spell is up.
No, it's the
Should
whole
begin, as
dash
long as there's
into
not.
dark. It's the whole dash.
Well,
into
no, you're
darkness.
already in darkness.
And-
You'll know exactly the
If I
distance
just
to
flee
go.
from the darkness.
Well, no, you're on the edge of the darkness here. I'm gonna draw it out. I'm gonna draw it out in this thing. So let's say
I get it.
you do. Okay.
The problem
let's
is
say this-
I'm the only one in the vicinity when the darkness.
Let's say that. No, there's the barbarian. These are his guards. And this is in the town square, so it's open all around, I would assume. Then, let's see, I'm going to use orange for you. You could be walking here. I would be walking over here. Like, just walking by as I pass it. I'll be like pretend going off to Donovan's. That'll
Are
be
the
my
guards
alibi.
standing right next to him?
Yeah, they're right next to him, from what I understood. And then I'm gonna just cast. I'll be casting my darkness spell. Let's see, use this color. And it's suddenly gonna go in around it. It has a 15-foot radius, so 30 feet wide. So you and I are about 15 feet both ways from the barbarian, presumably going in opposite directions. This is gonna come on like so. About. Darkness comes on. You just got caught in darkness.
Yeah, I get
And
that.
then you can dash here.
How do I dash over to him without seeing him?
You're going to position yourself in such a way that you can do exactly that distance. You're a monk. Come on, you're getting complete control of your body.
He's only
can-
a few levels of monk.
Like I said, it could work.
You can always cast silence at the same time yourself, unless you need that for your disguised self. Unless when you step in the darkness, it doesn't matter if you're on disguised self.
I hope that you can explain this whole plan to him before Mathilda's done. Otherwise, otherwise your thing's gone.
I
Or rather, I
wondering
hope
if
you
can
don't.
Explain it to.
Schmigel just has the most confused and disappointed look on his
Schmigel,
face
what
that
do you
he's
want
ever
to
had
do
in his
while these
life.
guys are trying to do this?
Me, I'm holding the doctor down.
The doctor's ignoring you.
No, if
Anyways.
Schmigel's holding it down, you have to break out of his grasp before you can do anything.
It's quite hard to ignore a pretty strong dwarf holding you down.
You can't ignore him unless you break out of his grasp somehow.
Fine, I'll make an acrobatics save. Because come on, I can
Didn't
keep
you
making
already?
acrobatics save every minute to try to get out.
Can I use
and eventually
Mage
I will
Hand
succeed.
to pick a lock?
Yeah, but it's just how much time he can buy.
If you pick a lock in darkness, you're going to do it with disadvantage.
No,
Whether you use Mage Hand
just
or not.
assume it's light. Can I use Mage Hand to pick a lock?
I don't think you can,
You
unless
have
you're
the
a.
thief kit.
Unless you're a thief.
You have to go to
Yeah.
the thief's kit.
Make your
Yeah, you
strength
Use the Mage
Schmigel.
Hand to take
You
that.
need to be like thief specialization rogue
And
to
plus,
get that.
in
Or
darkness,
arcade
you're not
tricks.
going to be able
I'm not
to...
saying darkness. I'm not. There's no way I could do it in darkness.
You can just smash the chains. It's cold out.
No, I'm saying with Mage Hand I could do it from 30 feet away.
And of course, you have to smash them without the guards noticing.
And is he chained to anything? Because technically, the barbarian doesn't have to actually be. If he's chained to a post or something, then it doesn't
The
matter. But if
post
he's
is-
just chained down.
The post is buried in the ground.
Okay. Oh, do you have Hugh with you? Schmigel has Hugh. He can just go, cut the wood in one shot. Barbarian's out, and you can walk away. Even though he's chained, when he gets invisible, the chains turn invisible too.
But he's
Schmigel
still
turns to
dragging
the
two
doctor and
posts
hold
behind
his
him.
hold his hand
What
by
is
his
Hugh?
throat.
Do your strength check,
Listen!
Smeg.
Hold it, you.
Do your strength
Wee-wit.
check. Quit your strength check. You wanted this? Do your strength check. And then I'm gonna keep doing dex saves until I win and get out.
And then he
Matilda,
grapples
here
you
I'm
again.
going to only let you do 2 more dex saves. That's it. I'm not going to let you do dex saves every minute. You do 2 dex saves just to, as with your combined struggle. I mean, you have a good chance of getting out even with 2 more dex saves.
Well, so that
I
would,
can't let you do 1,000 because then you eventually you win statistically.
I know, that's what I'm saying, because
No,
if
you can't do that.
Schmigel
You
can't
can-
hold me down
You're going
for
to do a total
2
of
or
2
3
more.
hours. It would
Grapple
take,
you again.
Yeah, you're going to
Matilda
do a total of 2 more because otherwise we're going to be rolling checks, 1,000 checks.
Yeah, I
It
know.
doesn't make sense. So you can do 2 more opposed checks and then that's it.
Okay. Schmigel, do your strength save. We'll just alternate until I get out. Or 2 more runs out.
all right. Besides, you did acrobatics instead of a dex save.
Yeah, it's acrobatics check to get out.
Yeah, that is to oppose a grapple. You can use acrobatics.
Okay.
You can use athletics to.
There you go, I'm out. Doesn't matter. So Schmigel doesn't have me when I'm explaining all this. So anyways, we can take Hugh from Schmigel.
If he gives
What
it
is
to
you?
His axe.
Oh, that's what. Okay,
The axe that just cuts trees down with a single swipe.
that's what I want. Okay.
So that's all you need to do is you chop the post down. Barbarian's chains just slide off the post, and then you walk him out. Guards don't know what's happening.
They are likely
Cast
to
silence on
protect
him.
the prisoner, though.
And
Like,
worst
hold
case
on to
scenario,
him.
you bolt for it. If it looks like you're getting caught, Eldrin, you bolt for it.
Schmigel just stand there and go like, fine. You want to go for it? Go for it. It's all yours. If you want to
Thanks,
fuck this
Schmigel.
up, you fuck it up your way.
We don't have time to wait, Schmigel. He's
You
done.
leave it up to yourself.
Schmigel, I never thought you'd be the man that would let an innocent die outside.
I'm not letting him die.
You
letting
are
him,
letting him die.
You're letting this do the crazy fucked up way that you always do, and you're not making any goddamn sense of the diplomacy. I have a position to uphold. You have nothing.
And does that qualify for a man to die? I still don't see how doing nothing will save his life.
It's more than you could ever think of doing.
I'm thinking of saving his life, Schmigel. What about you? Are you a dwarf who would willingly let a person die outside? Answer me this.
I wouldn't, but I'm not going to
There we go.
salvage the
We will
whole
save
world to flip it upside down so that you could have your goddamn crazy ass way of doing it.
How is this having my crazy ass way of doing things?
You're about to blast them with freaking darkness, and you're gonna. Schmigel runs up.
All right, are you ready to
Yeah.
try?
I guess
this
we're
thing?
gonna go, yeah.
So you go outside, you take positions. Doctor, you cast darkness. Immediately, 3 guards come right up to you
How do they know I cast darkness?
because you were seen casting darkness. You're very visible.
Even if I am...
You are immediately noticed casting darkness. 3 guards come up to you, put up their spears, and they say, "Put your weapons down! You're under arrest!" Casting darkness. So, Eldrin, what do you want to do? You want to try to break this guy out?
Nope.
No, well, no. It's you're up. You hear it, but you don't know. I think you're in the middle of darkness.
Oh, I'm in the middle of darkness?
Isn't that the plan? You heard
Did-
some yelling and screaming. You don't know exactly what happened outside the door.
Do I have
Oh, wait,
the axe?
how
Right
far away
here?
were the guards, honestly?
The guards were they were sitting there right in front of the government buildings. This is right.
Then why would I have been on that side? If I knew government buildings were on that side, I would have been on the other side.
You were seen. Period. Okay. You were
Yeah,
seen,
but honestly, like if there were guards posted, I would have positioned
listen,
myself
if you
in a
want to
spot where
tell
I
me
would have
how
seen.
the NPCs are going to acting, then you're going to have to DM. You were
No, I
seen.
need-
You're in the
I need-
middle of a town square trying to do this. You were seen.
Okay, but I would take the position where there would be the least guards, or it would take the guards the longest amount of time they get to me.
Well, after you cast the spell, they run up to you. They tell you to put your spell down and to put your weapons down.
How long does it take for them to get near me?
A couple of seconds, they run up to you.
I would
Really? I
actually
was
ask
looking
the
30
doctor to wait till I cast the disguise spell first.
You already casted the sky spell. You're ready to do your part. The doctor.
I didn't know what I was going to look
You're
like.
holding a concentration on the darkness, but the guards are telling you to put your arms down. They have their
I say
spears.
I say in Elvish. I don't know what you're talking about.
They say put your magic spells down and put your weapon down, or we will attack. And they put their spears up to you. Eldrin, you have a chance to do what you need to do.
So the darkness is okay. Do I have
Darkness
hue?
is up.
I don't even know if I
Your
have hue.
disguise is up. You have a few seconds to do it.
Do I have hue?
Yeah,
I
you
don't
have-
know. Schmegel,
Schmegel,
does he have your axe? Schmegel?
Quiet.
Dan?
Yes, took his axe.
Yeah, I know.
Does he
I'm
have
just.
your axe? I mean, assuming he either stole it from you or you gave it to him?
I wouldn't steal it from him.
Yeah, I trust Nimbex enough with an axe. I trust Nimbex.
Okay,
Are the
so
doctor's hands bound?
so what happens is the guards
Are
put
the
their
doctor's
spears
hands-
up to
wait,
the
wait,
doctor.
wait,
and
wait,
they
wait.
what?
Are the doctor's hands bound?
No.
His hands are not bound. He's sitting there in the middle of the square. And the guards are approaching him.
Oh, he
They
can't-
have
One
their
sec,
spears
John.
up.
Yes.
If you want to do this in terms of distance, if you
All I
want
want
to
to
go to,
know is, are you capable of casting invisibility on us?
yeah, I'm so capable.
The guards are going to attack you before and try to. And if you do not stand down and put your magic down, they're going to attack you.
1 second, John.
I think-
If you're gonna
Don't
do,
argue with them.
no, I'm not. I want to
Seriously,
say
don't.
something.
I think
Okay.
our plan is spoiled.
Because honestly, if I was within 30 feet of guards, I wouldn't have cast anything, and then they wouldn't be able to do attack by the normal rules.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the thing. I'd be stupid to cast it when I'm within 30 feet of guards.
yeah.
Well, you're casting darkness in public. It's
Yeah,
very
but if-
clear that you're the only person there with a big yellow robe, a mage, in the middle of the square, in broad daylight.
Did I say I was wearing my yellow robe?
I,
I guess I would be implied that I would be. Okay, I'll stay with my yellow robe. But because if I wouldn't, can we agree that the doctor wouldn't be stupid enough to cast a spell 30 feet in front, 30 feet within 30 feet of guards?
The darts don't need. They don't need 30 feet. They're gonna run up 60 feet, double
Okay,
their
but-
speed, and get up to you. If you can
Okay.
cast 60 feet away, that's fine.
Okay, so we can say I'm at least 60 feet away.
Yeah, and they're running up. They're right next to you.
That gives Nimbex, or not Nimbex, Eldrin, a total of say 1 normal turn.
No,
to do
he
his
does
full
have
action.
to turn. He does have to turn to do.
the
what he
problem
needs
is
to
I
do.
don't have an escape.
The point is, if
If
you
we
get near
can't-
me, I can still
If
trigger.
we can't go invisible, we don't have an escape.
But you can't talk this over with the doctor right now. You have to act.
I realize that.
You
I'm
hear
not
some
gonna do
yelling
it.
and screaming over.
I'm not
going
going to do it if we don't have an escape.
Because you have technically 1 turn. You can still complete more than 40 feet of movement in your turn. The
I know
total
what I can do.
the total diameter of my darkness is
He's
30,
not.
30 feet. 1 sec. So you can do 15 feet, cut, 15 feet, out, 1 turn.
I realize that, but we're visible.
You're not visible. So the time it takes the guards to get me is the time it takes you to do your full turn and get
Oh.
get right to me. That's what I'm saying. Is that you can do it in the exact time. that
But
it
he
takes
would
them
be
to get to
visible
me.
as soon as he leaves the darkness.
Right.
Yeah, but the barbarian would be invisible.
No.
Yeah, because I'd cast darkness. I'd cast invisibility on him on that
Yeah,
second.
but you can't cast right now.
Yeah, but we also agreed that when Eldrin exited the darkness, he would act all scared, and then.
I mean, you're on the
probably blame
opposite
me.
side of the darkness. How are you going to cast a touch spell on the barbarian?
That's what I was saying before. That when his exit was to come this way, and I would
Maybe
touch him
that's-
just
you
out.
So you
Eldrin,
wanna-
just do whatever you need to do. Take your action. You want to try. You can go up and you can cut the barbarian's post.
You can cut a post. Or is he attached to 2 posts?
No, he's attached to a post, chained up.
Okay.
You can cut his post. Do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, I understand that. What I don't see is an ability to get and become invisible.
Oh, you're not going to be invisible, but that's why you act all flustered. And
No, I understand that. I
Something
don't
happened.
see a way to get him to you to be invisible, is my problem.
no, then we talked about that before when we were doing our plan, was that you'd grab him,
Yes, we
you'd bring
did.
him here, and then I would touch him on you when you're exiting the darkness. Before he even exits the darkness, the trigger for the darkness to fall is him turning invisible.
I understand that, but the guards are right there staring at you.
Theoretically, it takes them the same amount of time to get to me as it takes you to do the full pass
know,
through the
they'll
darkness.
They will see it.
So the second they ask me to put it down, I'm turning
They
him
will
invisible.
see you casting invisibility.
That's what I've noticed. And
But
will
can they
see
really?
that you're
Can
casting
it like wouldn't it look like I'd be casting a counter curse at the same time? Since
Why
that
don't you
would
try it and
end
see what happens?
the darkness. Sure.
You can't talk it over. You have to just try and see
Yeah,
if
I
it
know.
You
works.
gotta act. because
It's
you-
just we can talk it over as much as it takes for Elgin to understand exactly what the original planned out plan was.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm game to try this out.
If Eldrun doesn't chicken out.
Exactly. If he chickens out, then I put down, nothing happens, and I'd be like, crap, now I got a bolt. But I can just turn invisible and go. If that doesn't work. If the barbarian doesn't show up and I have no choice but to do it, then I can always make myself invisible and disappear. But I'm saying theoretically it would take the time it would take Eldrin to get the barbarian out and get to me is the same time it would take the guards to get to me. Even less since he has 40 feet of movement. That's my reasoning anyways.
Alright, Eldrin.
Eldrin, take your action.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Well, then that's what your character does.
Yeah,
Your
essentially.
character has to do something, right? Or unless you want to.
No,
just
I
stand
don't
there.
have to do anything.
Oh, you can just stand there if you want to, but you have this plan in place.
Yeah, no, I don't see how the doctor is going to be able to cast invisibility.
So if you don't run in, the doc.
So if you didn't understand how that was happening, we never would have executed the plan in the first place.
I
wouldn't have
realize
done
that.
it.
That's what I agree with. Just one of those where I casted my spell without me knowing it.
What are you casting?
Disguise.
When did you cast it?
Well, I didn't think I did, but all this rolled into play where it wouldn't have rolled into play unless
Did
I
you cast it before you went into the town square? Or are you casting it now? On the outside of the darkness.
I would cast it when the doctor and I said, let's do it. And I'd never heard that.
So what are you doing right now?
I'm just standing there at the edge of darkness.
Okay, the doctor, you see Eldrin standing at the edge of your darkness spell.
You don't see him.
No, he doesn't see him because I'm on the opposite
You're on
side.
the opposite side.
I assume I hear the guards running towards him, and
So the guards are the guards are up to you. They have their spears up to you. They haven't attacked you yet, and they're asking you to put down your arms and your spell.
I'm gonna feign not understanding them speaking in Elvish.
I need a deception check against their wisdom.
Okay, 1 second.
15.
Because I assume that Eldrin told me he understood the plan when we left, and I assume he's at least trying. So I'm gonna try to buy as much time as I can.
So
I'll
Give me a
message
deception.
to you. I'll message to you. Can you cast invisibility on him without being seen?
they have given you warning. They're going to attack you.
I message back. Yes, I can.
All
But
right,
hurry.
I'll go do it.
Okay, are you
Or
ready?
actually, when I message back, I'm gonna say, "Don't bother, you blew it."
Okay,
And I dispelled
won't do it
the
then.
spell.
All right.
I'm gonna have to dispel the darkness.
So as you dispel the
You blew it.
darkness, they ask you to put down all of your arms and your spells.
I'm gonna say,
They say, "Come with us." He says, "You are interfering with a public execution.
I'm
You shall
just
see
gonna.
the sheriff."
I'm gonna laugh at them.
Oh,
Try
great.
to catch me.
Well,
Catch me if you can.
Well,
And I misty step out, and assuming this is the beginning of my next turn. Well, theoretically, So I'm gonna Misty Step and double move down the out of the town square and down into nearest alley.
Okay, so we're gonna have to do a chase. You're taking up all of the game time, man.
Sorry. I wanted to try. The doctor would have tried something. He was gonna try to get the barbarian out, no matter what. Freezing to death is such a horrible way to go.
Okay, so 20. They're gonna spend one turn looking around, but you can only Misty Step to an area you can see, which means it's there where they can see. So one turn.
If it's in the middle of crowds.
They can still see.
Oh wait.
They're gonna be able to spot you.
Okay.
Unless you cast invisibility or something like that.
I wouldn't have invisibility left after that. Actually, better idea. Actually, what I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna wait because they're near enough to get me. So yeah, I'm gonna Misty Step out. No wait. No, okay. I'm just gonna invisibility myself and I'm gonna bolt. That's it. That's what I'm gonna do.
And I'm gonna look all surprised.
Well, your spell was cast before you went into town.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm asking Eldrin. You cast him ult yourself, right?
No,
He had
disguise
disguise
self.
self.
I'm still not sure when I casted it, if I did. So if I did cast it, well, whether I did or didn't.
What I'm asking is, did you cast it in the
right.
middle of town square?
I would not cast it in the middle of the town square. I would not be
Doctor, as
casting it in front of
you
anybody.
turn invisible and you start walking out in town, you see two guards coming your way, directly into your face. But you just narrowly dodge out of the way without actually hitting them while you're invisible.
Okay, I can go with that.
These two guards go up and they start talking to the guards that were chasing you. Guards that were chasing you tell them like, there's a wizard here trying to interfere with the execution. And then the two guards says, we've been told by the speaker to deliver the prisoner to the hall. And then he says, the other two guards says, you get the barbarian. The rest of us, we're going to spread out and find the wizard. So they spread out to look for you. They all bring out their scrying sword, little scrying stones.
Ooh, weird.
All right, Eldrin, this is your chance. He's only guarded by one man.
Well, that one guard slowly goes up to the post and is slowly kind of undoing his chains. The barbarian is unconscious, so he's slowly undoing his chains a little bit at a time. And then the barbarian, he takes the barbarian, slings him over his shoulders. Oh, damn, this man is heavy. And
So
he's
we
just
did wait too
slowly
long.
dragging the barbarian.
But he's still alive, right? The barbarian breathes.
He does appear to be alive. He seems very out of sorts at this point. He looks
All right.
very bad.
At least I managed to
stealth
buy him some
around.
time.
I'll stealth around and follow the guard.
Yeah, because none of us have any idea what's
I need a
happening.
stealth check against the guard's perception.
I gotta find my character here. I can't tell where I am.
So, Doctor, where are you going after you leave the scene?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well,
he
likely-
can't-
Eldrin S 25 stealth.
Yeah, he can't beat a 25.
Okay, the doctor's probably gonna follow too, or like he's gonna stay way behind and kind of see what's going on.
Schmigel, what are you doing?
Other than going, oh, I can't believe we're doing this.
The doctor's ticked at Eldrin, by the way,
That's alright.
that he led him on. Thought he understood the plan.
Schmigel, what are you doing? Schmigel?
My mic back on?
Yes.
Perfect. Schmigel's just sitting in the bar.
Schmigel, as you sit at the bar, you're just kind of drinking. Two guards come in, and they come up to you. They say, "Lord Ironbelly,
Aye?
I'm afraid that we need to you to come with us to see the speaker. It appears that one of your companions has broken a law. I'm very sorry, my lord. I'm sure this will be sorted out very quickly.
Oh my.
Live the Kirschmigel.
I can only
Bloody
schmooze this speaker
fucking
so
idiot.
much.
I look at the barkeep. Bar. Do you have a bottle I can bring with?
He tosses you a big bottle of strong liquor.
Thank you. Just put it on my tab when I get back. Oh, I'm gonna need this.
So Schmigel with an armored escort also heads towards the town hall.
Oh, how fun.
It takes a good 20 minutes, but this one guard just drags this ridiculously big barbarian into town hall.
Do I pass by him on the way?
Yeah, you pretty much pass him on the way. But
Hold it. I help the guard up. Hey, here you go, friend. And I help
He says, "Oh, thank you, my lord. Oh, please, my lord. No, there's no need. I can carry.
Hey, it's what we dwarves are made for.
So you walk a little bit faster by carrying him and helping the guard carrying him. You bring him right into the middle of town hall.
Can I tell the barbarian's breathing?
He is breathing, but he's unconscious. He looks like he's suffering from severe hypothermia.
Okay, at least he's still alive.
You bring him right into the hall, and then you drop him on the floor, and he's unconscious on the floor. And then the guard goes up and whispers something in Devessechade's ear, and then she looks at you, Schmigel, and she raises her eyebrow.
I bow.
She says, "What is the meaning of this? Some interfering with the execution?"
Excuse me?
Not us.
Says, "I have reports that an elf that was seen with you has attempted to cast a spell interfering with the execution. Lord Ironbelly, can you answer for this? He has been seen in your party, and I must say, my lord, I'm very sorry for whatever inconvenience this
Oh,
situation
it's no
has caused,
inconvenience.
but
It's-
I must at least give you my gratitude for assisting us with the Yeti attack at the gate.
Oh, it's no problem at all. It was merely my pleasure.
But what is this act that I am hearing of?"
Am I there as well?
Yes, you are. You've been waiting there, and you heard the guard run in and kind of whisper something. He didn't say it out loud. He just whispered it for you. And she's looking at all of you very, very angrily with this contemptuous gaze.
My lady. May I ask you a question?
So Doctor and Eldrin, are you sneaking into the town hall to listen in?
Doctor,
Only if
when he
there's
sees Schmigel
public.
going in, he knows things will be all right, and there's nothing more that he could do here. The doctor's
No, as long
gonna.
as it's out of the element, I'll stay outside unless it's a very public building.
The doctor's gonna use his new appointed position of being, I guess, moderately wanted to snoop around town in the darker districts.
You've really been you're in trouble for is casting a spell in the middle of town, interfering with an execution. You haven't actually been you haven't actually attempted to break him free.
Yeah. I'm going to say, my lady, are you familiar with the concept of wild magic?
I need a deception check on that one.
Oh, I had a better one.
Oh. I'm sorry
go.
if I'm
Probably done
preempting
something
you.
with insanity.
You go first, though. Go ahead.
Easy.
Oh, you may whichever one wants to go first. If you want. She says, "No, I am not. Please enlighten me."
there are individuals whose magic stems from strange and unknowable sources, and on rare occasions they are known to cast magics unintentionally. And I'm afraid that the individual traveling with us has this has happened before.
She kind of looks at you and
I hope there was no harm.
You can't tell if it's that she doesn't believe you or she's just really a mean person. She's just looking at you with this angry stare, and she says, "If that is so, then it is still your responsibility if something were to go wrong in this individual with such uncontrollable magic energies were to interfere with something that is by law to take place in the middle of town."
It's my responsibility.
She looks at you. She looks at you, Schmigel, and she says, "Lord Ironbelly, for your assistance with the Yetis, I can overlook this. I can overlook this one grievance, but I must tell you, the law must be kept in this town, especially during these times. I'm sure you can understand."
I understand very well, my lady.
You guys really barely squeezed out of that one.
What were you going to say, Schmigel?
Yes.
Just out of character. Before
Well,
I
out of
preempted
character,
you.
I would have said, lady, you ever cared for a puppy, and then it pees on the carpet, and you don't want to...
Oh, that's perfect.
I'm not sure that appealing to her sensitive nature.
She looks at you,
Perfect.
and it's pretty evident that she's never owned a puppy.
That's funny.
She says,
Anyway.
she says to you, "Lord Ironbelly, it has come to my attention that your companion here has requested that I give leniency to this criminal."
I've talked to him.
And she says, "It is difficult for me to simply absolve him of his crimes for which he's clearly committed." She said, "You must understand this. The guilt weighs heavily against him." He says, "If you wish to ask me to allow him to live while you find a means to justify his release, I perhaps can be swayed that way if you would agree to help me in the matter."
Oh?
I thought
Yeah.
that she'd already agreed to this.
Huh?
I'm not saying that, but I'm just thinking that. I'm not speaking out loud
Oh.
against her. She can continue.
My lady, are you saying that perhaps if
Well,
I...
she's asking Schmigel officially because she kind of recognizes Schmigel as the big head honcho with his
Yeah.
big cloak flowing around. She says, I wish no ill between our people and the people of Neverwinter." Says, I know not why you are here, my lord, but I must ask of your aid in this matter. If this barbarian is to be released under your care, then you must aid the people of 10 towns.
I will aid you as much as I can, my lady.
He says, there has been bad blood growing between our people. There's been bad blood for centuries, but now it has risen to a boil. You see, for the last 2 weeks, we have had reports of beast attacks, unnatural beasts, winter wolves, yetis, crag cats, right on the outskirts of town. These are highly unusual for this place.
We have already fought off some of these.
Aye, and I think I might have a theory about that too.
Says, what do you know of this, Lord Ironbelly? And again, what do I owe the pleasure of you coming to visit us in Bryn Shander?
Believe it or not, the cowering, strange, and very dumb wizard that had followed me on business had come here on official business from Yeah, Harper's.
She narrows her eyes. Harper's. Go on.
Anyways. After our last battle with the Yetis outside the town, I noticed something strange. Out in the distance, beyond the dunes and the mere vastness of the plains, I saw a figure, something ominous and something.
She says, "You mean the ice witch?" She says, "You are not the first, Lord Ironbelly. One of the characteristics whenever we see these attacks on the outskirts of town is often the victims of the attack would report a figure of a ominous woman flowing in the breeze."
At least we have a name now.
He says, they call her the Ice Witch. I believe she is actually in league with the barbarians. Perhaps not his tribe, but the barbarians nonetheless.
If his tribe is opposed to the Ice Witch, then it would seem that if we could secure their assistance, perhaps we have a similar goal.
He says, it would, but old treatises are hard to break. The truce between 10 towns and the barbarians is between our people and theirs, collectively. If they cannot settle their own troubles and fight amongst themselves to attack us, we must treat them as a whole. Unless you can secure me any reason not to.
Well, I've previously asked for your gracious, and you have graciously permitted me to spare this man's life.
But that
for,
does not
for a
absolve
time,
him of the guilt of his crime.
until such time as we can find sufficient evidence.
Doctor, what are you up to right now? I know I'm in the middle of conversation.
If I saw Eldrin sneaking about, I probably would have went to him.
Okay, are you still invisible?
I'm assuming I'm going to stay invisible until approximately my spell is time to wear out.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Disguise Self on myself.
Alright, this is like
to,
20 minutes into your spell still.
Okay.
So your spell is still going on, you're with Eldrin's kind of hiding.
I asked Eldrin, can you cast message to see to anyone, one of our companions, to see if what's going on in there?
Sure. Schmigel, what's going on? Should we just hide out?
I don't know. What do you think?
So the doctor's going to go on
yes.
a tangent, probably.
I'm thinking yes.
Okay, continue with the what you were saying, please, Matilda.
My note was basically done. I was saying that I thought it was very gracious of her to postpone the execution until such time as we can find sufficient evidence for her to release him. And
She says, Hengar will be locked in the prisons.
I understand.
And he says,
Would you allow me to? He seems very weakened. Would you allow me to pass some healing to him?
She doesn't even say yes. She just kind of raises her hands to concede. She's like that.
I bow graciously and lay on hands on this fine torso.
He starts breathing again. He says, "Save my people." And then he gets up and he looks around and he's looking a little flustered. He's like, "What is this?"
Schmigel immediately stares down. He stares him down, just like, kind of like, shut the hell up right now before.
Schmigel, you got to intimidate him.
Intimidate the barbarian.
And the barbarian looks at you, Schmigel, saying, I want to clobber. So he's gonna do an opposed intimidate.
Oh
Need
boy.
to see this.
You ready?
Yep.
Lord Ironbelly staring off against the barbarian.
Luckily he rolled a 2. So he stands down, getting stared down by the dwarf. As the guards take him away to lock him up.
Yeah.
The dwarven
Probably
rage
best.
was strong in Schmigel
Where he
that
can not say anything stupid.
you just
Right.
see him just like raise his voice for a split second. You are!
Right.
Anyways,
Mathilda is now going to proceed to falsify, intimidate, and browbeat people until she has sufficient evidence. That's the kind of paladin she is.
yep.
But that can wait a little while. At least we are no longer on an hour-long clock.
So I look at the speaker and I say, so, what would you like me to do between the 10 towns?
The speaker says that this barbarian had a request to aid his people and save his people from what he says is an attack from the Ice Witch. He says, if you can investigate what these matters are, I would be most grateful. For if there truly is a threat, it's not just a threat to his people, but a threat to 10 towns.
Aye.
He says, I have not the men to spare during these times.
They choose to listen to him now.
She says, within a few days, I am to address the people of 10 towns, defending my position as the speaker, or is being called into question. As my ability to lead in these harsh times. And for the first time, you see that she kind of she shows some weakness, like she's a little bit unsure. Says, anyway, that is what I ask of you, Lord Ironbelly.
It seems like a fairly well felt question, but perhaps we shall need a guide to show us the inner workings of barbarianism.
She thinks about it for a second and she says, "Well, I can direct you to the ranger Aglinel. He is well traveled in these parts."
Well, I was thinking perhaps the barbarian himself might show a little bit more use than.
I can spare his life, Lord Ironbelly, but you must understand, I cannot release him unless you can prove his innocence.
Oh, I understand. Just a thought.
Do we have 1,000 gold?
The gold has been
was found
returned.
on him.
The gold has been returned, but the problem is that he's still.
Oh.
There
I
is
mean,
no way
We could
of like
spend
paying your
1,000
way
gold
out
at
of
the
a.
Thieves Guild
Can we
to
post
free
bail?
him, probably.
Yeah.
The-
The doctor is going to use his ill rep to try to infiltrate Thieves Guild, likely. But he'd probably try to.
You're on the right track.
Yeah. That's one of the doctor's, like, secondary
I'm
goals.
caught
Where,
halfway in between going all Phoenix Wright on this
Oh God.
and just like calling in witnesses and going actual trial
that would, both
and
could be
just
interesting.
going in sneaky and freeing this
It's
guy.
getting
in time.
towards evening time
Yeah.
now.
Regardless of what I do, I think we should start in the morning, as we'll all be refreshed.
Well, my lady, I will do all I can to help you in your 10 towns. It may not be my land, but it'll be my pleasure to help you as a grace from the Neverwinter.
She gives you a slight nod, which is a little bit better than that hand flick she gave Matilda earlier.
Now, if you excuse us, it is getting rather late, and we wouldn't want to keep you from the evening's duties.
And she says, "My lord."
I bow, and I assume Schmigel does well, and if he doesn't, I nudge him.
Oh, I bow. He may be dumb, but he knows when to bow in front of royalty.
Well, I don't know. You haven't been in front of royalty as much as Mathilda. Yeah, we make our exit. I assume we all rendezvous back at the inn.
Yeah, you guys make it back to the inn.
I don't know if our wizard is there.
At this point, your invisibility is kind of wearing off.
Yeah, I'd cast disguise self on myself then, and I'd be I'd meet up with them at the inn, looking like completely different.
Yeah.
Schmigel is sharpening Hugh.
Okay. Well,
If you guys
I'll-
are going to do something, otherwise I'll just say whatever the doctor's doing. The
Yeah,
doctor's
I'll-
going to ask how everything went at first.
Yeah, I was going to
Who the
relate.
hell are you?
I'm here on behalf of a certain acquaintance of yours.
I'll
The man in
vouch
yellow.
for him.
Oh, you can knock it off, Doctor. You already had your day.
So
Oh,
what's the
God.
situation? Is the
Don't you
barbarian
even
safe?
say 2 words in front of me. You
Is
go
he
straight
safe?
to bed, young man.
Is he safe?
Despite your best efforts, yes.
Okay. Tell me, do I have a wanted? Do I have a bounty on my head yet?
No! Thankfully, we saved you from your stupid ass. Now go straight to
Tis a
bed and
shame.
you're not getting supper. Go.
Tis a shame. All right, I shall retire for the night, for I am tired. But I will need to. The doctor's concerned. Either he should head out tonight and try to find refuge with the Thieves Guild, while he could potentially have or be marked as a wanted fugitive, and maybe infiltrate them, or he would do that in the morning. But in which case, it wouldn't really work in the morning.
Mathilda
He's-
is exhausted after like being chased by an avalanche, fighting, and not any
Yeah,
rest.
doctor's
until all
probably
of
too big
this.
too. Yeah, good point.
Welcome,
the doctor's
welcome to
gonna
our
wanna
party.
retire for sure. Now that the doctor knows that the barbarian is safe, he'll retire for the night.
Schmickle just
yeah.
rests on the bar counter.
The doctor's gonna be like, "I'm glad you feel safe gambling with people's lives, Schmigel."
Piss off,
Good night.
yeah. Fucking
And the doctor
top
gives a
hat
very
weirdo.
mocking bow, and he's gonna head up to his room. Obviously, taking a whole bunch of food with him.
Yeah, Mathilda retires to the nicest room in the inn, and like, barely gets her armor off before she collapses on the bed.
You're gonna spend the night there? Or
Yes.
you guys gonna go turn in for the night, or are you gonna do something else?
Well,
I think
Um,
we're all
The
exhausted.
how long does the doctor need for to get all his spells back and be rested? He needs 4
You need
hours
4 hours
meditation.
as an elf.
Okay, so he'll take that 4 hours, and he's probably going to use the night to go around outside gathering information on the Thieves Guild.
How are you gonna gather information? You're just gonna ask passersby?
He's going to go to the seediest bar in town, and since we're in the nicest, he's going to go to the one of most ill repute, and he's going to casually try to pick up quotes by, I guess, probably just by sitting around.
out of
and hearing
character.
what rumors he
Felix,
has.
how many times do you want to die this campaign?
The doctor
Whatever,
has
I
goals
mean-
that
I
he
mean, this
has
is-
to accomplish, and with all the
If
stuff
he-
we're taking on,
That's fine. If he wants to,
he has a very small time to do it.
I mean, so different people look for different things in the game, and he likes to looks for these things. So that's fine.
I like having a little bits of excitement. That's just me personally. But
That's
I'll,
fine.
I'll
no, the most the doctor's gonna do is basically go to the Sears bar, and since it's pretty dark out,
Are you gonna go as yourself, or are you gonna go disguised?
he's gonna have disguise self.
What is he gonna
No,
look
wait.
like?
He's not gonna look like he has his bright yellow robes on, but he'll look like he'll have his normal face, but he won't be in his yellow robes when he's in
Could
the
you
Sears
just
bar.
put on something else then?
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what he'll do. He's gonna borrow some of Andel's clothes.
excuse me.
Yep.
Well, since I
Not
don't,
Andel's clothes, Eldrin's clothes.
so we will expedite this a little bit.
You can just say what happens quickly.
You go into the you go into the bar to kind of get information on the Thieves Guild. Not many people are willing to talk, as you can imagine. It's not something that's actually you draw a lot of attention to yourself by asking for it. People are looking at you very suspiciously, and you see some shady characters moving around in trying to get information of the Thieves Guild. It seems like unless you have some connections, nobody's going to talk.
Even with the doctor looking like
You're a stranger. You're not known.
Okay.
It seems
Even
like
after
since-
all the attention he drew to himself.
It seems like since you're not known, no one's going to talk. If you go as the doctor, you may even get worse results.
No, he was as a doctor. He just had different clothes on. He didn't have his yellow robes on.
You don't get none of the thieves want to talk to you. However, you get you get two gentlemen. They don't. They look a little bit. They look like normal people, but they have these hoods on, and they kind of look at each other, and then they look at you, and then as you after you finish talking in the bar, as you walk out, you notice that they follow you.
The doctor's gonna turn down an alley, and he's gonna wait for them to approach.
They approach and they draw weapons.
Really? Really?
I'm not messing around. But the thing is, you look at these guys, and when both of them draw their weapons, you see a symbol on their sword. This is the symbol that you saw on Schmiggel's letter, on that little gemstone's letter, and they're coming after you with swords.
I'm gonna just quickly. I'm gonna cast suggest on one of them, saying, "Now this wouldn't be the
Suggest is a wisdom save.
Yeah. Then this wouldn't be the wisest of actions. Couldn't we talk instead?"
Do whatever you like. Okay. Hold on. Let me bring them up and get the wisdom modifier. Oh, they get a +2 to their wisdom save.
Ouch.
15 against your DC.
14.
So they seem a little bit stalwart, and you notice that one of them actually there's some light coming out of his hand without a sword, and you notice that this guy is casting a spell, and they're coming after you. You better get away soon, unless you
Then
want
I'm
to fight
probably
them.
I'm probably gonna misty step up to the roofs.
I want you to roll a stealth after you misty step. I'm gonna roll a perception on them.
So stealth.
Perception. Where's the wisdom modifier? They get a 10. Okay, so you're able to hide as they look around, and they don't know where they can't find you. And then they look at each other, and then they walk off. These guys, you definitely recognize that on their swords, on the pommel of their swords, there was a symbol that looked exactly like the symbol on Schmiggel's letter.
Watching them walk away, do I notice anything in their walk that would hint at an animalistic trait, as if they were a lycopath or something? Because I'd be looking specifically for that.
Why don't you roll an Arcana?
Okay. Because a lycopath would walk with a certain lightness if they were a were-rat or a werewolf or something else.
Arcana to see if there's anything. They are. You notice that they are able to channel the weave, and they're magic users. You don't notice any lycanthropy. But you're sure that these two are magic users. You don't know what type of magic user. You don't know if they're like sorcerers or mages.
The rare wild magic wizard.
Yeah, maybe they're both wild magic wizards. Maybe they just want to talk, but all of a sudden their wild magic surge came out.
Quite possibly. I'd be willing to give them the benefit of the doubt.
So you're not sure if you found the Thieves Guild, but you found some people that are not very friendly and looking for you.
Can I cast invisibility on myself and follow them?
You're on the rooftop, though.
You're on the rooftop. You'd have to get down from the rooftop.
Okay, never mind. It looks like they'll get away before I can get to them. Then I'll return to the inn.
You return to the inn. I'm not sure you're going to have the time to, unless you want to sleep in, because people are going to wake up in the morning.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep in.
Yeah,
I'll sleep in a little bit.
while the doctor was gallivanting about, I was going to be playing cards with some of the locals inside the tavern.
Okay.
Oh, do you even know what was gallivanting about?
I saw you laugh.
Really?
He knows.
Yeah.
He
If
knows.
you say so, very well.
You know.
You're playing cards with the locals, and everything that they're talking about is this harsh winter that's coming on. And it appears that the locals blame the barbarian clans for this harsh winter.
Yeah.
Hey, why do you blame the barbarians for something weird like the weather?
It's because they worship the Frost Maiden. Don't you understand? And he doesn't even say Frost Maiden out loud. He says it like whispering. The Frost Maiden.
Well,
Like it's a curse. Like you don't want to say that out loud.
Yes, they worship Voldemort.
some winter witch can't possibly have like the power of a god now, can
Not
he?
just some winter witch. So it has to be the Frost Maiden herself. Oral. She's brought her wrath upon us. Shh. Don't say her name.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, double spades. That goes fine.
Doesn't Schmigel have proficiency in poker?
I do.
Yeah.
So I can roll to see if I get any winnings.
Yeah. Is it poker or is it three dragon ante?
I don't know.
Doesn't
what
matter.
game
Schmigel has
it is.
proficiency in it.
All right. What can I check with?
This would be a luck roll, so you just roll a d20. And if you get above a 10...
Unless you're cheating.
With his proficiency modifier.
Yeah, I gotta-
I'm assuming Schmigel's not cheating.
No, I wouldn't cheat.
Okay.
D20 plus 2.
Yep.
Ooh.
Alright, so Schmigel, you win a whole bunch of silver. I'm assuming you're not betting... these guys don't have enough money to bet that big.
Read with him and
You
wait.
win a big handful of 75 silver
Yeah.
for the night.
Aye. And I'd be willing to pay you back if you could give me some information I'm looking for.
He says, what information are you looking for?
Did you hear about the seamstress lady? You hear she been attacked
Oh,
by
that bitch! Nobody likes her.
Really?
Yeah! All walking around all snooty thinking she's the queen of the world. Ugh. Hate her. Don't you hate her, Earl? Yeah, I hate her too.
Apparently everyone knows her.
But
The guy's named Earl.
what if you had heard about the barbarian attack? Do you think something like that she'd make something up for it?
Well, I don't know if she would make it up or not, but just look at that barbarian and tell me he's not guilty.
I don't know. I got to talk to him for a while.
Because I'm telling you, I am sure they're responsible for this winter. And I'd be happy to see that barbarian hang. Too bad they say that the speaker herself has given him some sort of pardon. He'll rot in jail nonetheless.
Aye, real shame.
Eldrin, what are you up to? Eldrin? Asleep.
I've got little one here causing trouble. I missed that.
Okay.
Oh, you can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm good.
So what are you doing?
Sleeping?
Masturbating vigorously in his bed.
Yeah, I'm just sleeping.
Okay. Matilda, are you sleeping?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How do these guys stay up all night after having been adventuring since early this morning? I don't get it.
The doctor's full of energy. You guys should know that by now.
Alright, so I guess you, Schmigel, you turn in for the night.
after the table clears of like all the poker players in the bar starting to look empty, go up for the night.
After you guys sleep for the night, the next morning, the doctor, you're trying to sleep in, but you get woken up after like a good 3 hours of sleep.
Okay. So does that mean I'm still I'm missing like what, one spell slot
Well,
now?
then you can still do
Save two?
Arcane Recovery
Okay.
if you want. That'll give you back your spells. You're woken up in the middle of the morning, and somebody's knocking on your door. And you go to open the door. It's a young courier, and he hands you a letter. The letter is addressed from Donovan.
Okay.
And the letter says, Doctor, please come right away. It's a disaster. And it's a big exclamation point.
Okay. The doctor goes in, and as if anyone's downstairs, he's gonna try and get everyone together. Looks like we got trouble. Or I have trouble.
Well, this is
Okay,
like
then.
6 in the morning, so you probably have to wake
Okay.
them up.
Are you really
I'm gonna
going
go
to
knock
knock
on
on
Schmiggel's
Schmiggel's door?
Yes, why not? If I have to get up, everyone gets up. The doctor knocks on Schmiggel's door. BAM! What, you're asleep?
Oh, I know someone would wake me up in the morning. So let's see.
I don't storm into your room, obviously.
Let's see. My strength is a +3. Proficiency at it is +2. So I'm basically gonna push the door open and see if I can knock him in the head with it. 14 hit your AC?
Nope.
Damn. I
Why
just
is
look
your
at you
AC
lazily.
above 14
What
unless
do
you
you
have-
want?
You can pretty much consider I always have one charge spent from my staff of defense on mage armor.
You seriously gonna wake up and cast mage armor? Okay, that's fine.
Especially if I know that I'm going to potential trouble.
You're gonna wake up in
Where?
the morning and use your staff to cast mage armor?
Well, it's the
Mage
only
armor
way I
doesn't
can really
last
cast.
all day.
It lasts
It only lasts-
8 hours.
Yeah.
So that's good enough for me.
So Schmigel looks at you. He's already mad. What do you want? Uh-oh. Did we lose Felix?
He's frozen.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
He's got the Castanars.
He's gotta rejoin. Is it okay if we stop at 9:45 today?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Mondays
Hey.
are really not good for me. in
Oh,
general.
I think we worked you pretty well tonight.
Did you anticipate things going the way they have?
Well, no, I had ideas in mind on depending on what you're gonna try. It depends on the plan you come up with. If you come up with a plan of trying to cast a spell in the middle of the day, I have to give you.
Yeah,
I gotta
I
give you
understand.
the. I mean, I have to give you the consequence of trying.
You
to-
must have expected, though, that Felix was going to try something like that.
I didn't
He
think he
did.
was gonna try a spell in the middle of the day, so I gotta act in a way that
Yeah.
you would expect if you cast a spell in the middle of town in the middle of the day. You're gonna be seen. I can't see how you can cast a spell like darkness and not be seen in the middle of the day.
Unless you cast it on yourself. Or the guards.
Yeah, but a spell like darkness is
Yeah.
going to be very prominent. You're casting
Yeah.
a big black hole in the middle of.
If only it had some patience.
That's
If
okay.
only...
That's okay. I mean,
Yeah, that adds some drama
some
to the story.
some people want to play, do certain things in the game. You got to do the best you can to accommodate it,
Yeah.
which I don't mind.
Oh.
I think Matilda shined today.
Yeah, she's the star of this episode.
Well, you got that critical roll.
That was a killer roll.
Well, I mean,
That was
she
quite a-
finally got to do a little bit of what she's good at.
That was quite
Yes.
a roll.
After spending the last combat entirely frozen.
See, I don't know what you guys are gonna do. I just present all of these different things going on.
Well, we're heading north to the
We want to go to the barbarian
guard-
tribes, but first free the barbarian
Yeah.
to guide us. That's roughly what we want to do, I think, as a group.
Yeah.
I think
We're just
all
gonna
in-
find a way out.
I mean, whatever you want to do, there's sort of a scenario planned out
Yeah.
for whichever path you decide to take, with different results. So that's the whole
Yeah,
idea.
of
So you
course.
guys, so it really is a true kind of sandboxy freedom that
Yeah.
you guys can have, which is
I mean,
which is great.
Matilda, like, she's planning either to go get witnesses and see if she can find a way to prove it.
Yeah.
But if not, she's just as willing to pay the Thieves Guild a bunch of money to bust him out. And,
But you have to understand that the choices that you make
Of
may
course.
affect. So if you choose to do something and you choose not to do something else, then
Yeah.
there's different consequences. You cannot complete every quest; it's impossible because of the
Yeah.
timing. So that's just the whole idea of how this module goes. You have to make some very tough choices on what you choose to do or want to do. The
Well, I think
doctor's
we're all
con-
in agreement. We
I
wanna
want to
go-
see the doctor convince all of you to pursue his spell book. Okay. I mean, he's not going to do it alone. He will die. I promise you. So I want to see if he can convince you guys to go with him to get his spell book.
Well,
I would like to find someplace I could get a comprehend language spell.
You can go to the
Possible.
Arcana shop here. What level is it?
why don't you do that
It's
right now while we wait for Felix?
Felix
It's
is
first
back
level.
on. I just gotta wait for the call.
Oh, can't he? Do I have to make a call?
I think we gotta add him or something.
Okay. Can you guys
Okay,
add
I'm
him,
back.
or do I have to add him?
I'm in.
Oh, there he is.
Okay.
All right, welcome back.
Sorry about that. My internet sometimes skids around. If it disconnects for a second, my laptop doesn't pick it up again.
Yeah, don't you have fiber out that way?
I don't know. Bell's been sketchy with us for some reason.
Oh, Felix, I hope
It's,
it's okay if we end at 9:45. I got, Mondays are
Yeah.
a little bit
Yeah, I'm getting
runny
pretty
for me
tired too.
sometimes.
I have some work to get done anyways.
Because I sometimes
So-
I have to do stuff during the week. I have to do a research project.
Okay, it's fine. I have so much work to do. I need to. I've been working on my project the whole time we've been playing. So
Well, you're still busting into Schmiegel's room.
okay.
Schmigel,
So-
I guess, just
Tried to
busted
smack
out
you with the door.
Well, if you guys want to end, would you guys rather end at the end of the long rest or?
No, we keep going. We keep
Okay.
going until you.
Oh yeah, let me refresh all my stuff now that we've had a long
Yeah,
rest.
it's not like we're in the middle of the combat when we have to end. That would be bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna set all my
As
spells
a matter
back.
of fact, this is our first combat-free session. It looks like.
So far, it's not too late to get into a scuffle with
It's getting
guards.
close.
We've rolled some initiative. We just haven't killed anyone.
No, we actually never rolled
Oh,
initiative.
you never rolled.
No,
you
we
were
never
in
rolled.
initiative.
Oh, okay.
No,
Fair
that
enough.
didn't require initiative. It just slowed things down.
Yeah.
We know the turn order.
Oh yeah, and I'm full HP again. Yay.
Why, you were hurt?
Yeah, I was a little bit hurt from that Yeti fight.
Oh, right. Yeah, a lot of stuff did happen. Wow. Okay. All right. So, when the Schmigel pops out, the doctor nimbly steps aside and says, "Looks like we have trouble down at Devin's shop. Care to join me?" And the doctor has like all his robes on, right, and he's ready to go.
What time is
Schmigel
this
looks
in
at
the
you
morning?
with these two bloodshot eyes.
Ooh, you shouldn't drink that much, before you go to bed. It's bad for your health, Schmigel. Smoking does that too. You all right? I look at him as if dealing with a toddler who's been badly abused.
I breathe out the fumes from my mouth. I want you to do a constitution check.
If you
Or
want,
save,
sure.
sorry. Constitution save.
Against what? What's your
Dwarven-
DC?
Against poison breath.
Yeah, the question is, what's the DC, Schmigel?
Yeah, that's what I was
How
asking.
much you drink last night?
Well, after the first bottle.
It went all downhill from there on.
Well, technically, since you have resistance to poison, it would depend on how much you were
Schmigel,
intoxicated. Like
why
successfully
don't we do this? We
intoxicated.
do an opposed constitution.
Okay.
Schmigel, you roll a constitution with advantage, and he rolls a constitution. I've never done this before, but it sounds like it's appropriate.
Sure, why not?
That's strength, Schmigel.
Constitution.
Whoops.
Unskilled constitution check.
That doesn't
That's
make a
pretty-
difference.
That's pretty high.
The doctor faints.
Probably.
You're poisoned.
Uh-oh.
I guess you're poisoned for an hour
Ouch. Okay.
from because you've absorbed so much alcohol.
From his rest. Ooh boy, Schmigel. I just wave my hand. I don't know how you can live with that. That stuff's poison to you. Now, anyways, let's get going. Doctor's hanging out, and he's gonna rap on everyone's door on his way down.
I'm
Wake everybody up.
Matilda, do we have to?
We most certainly don't.
Doctor's at the door.
Oh, but he's gonna do something stupid, isn't he? Ah.
Get up.
Yep. I get my stuff on.
I
ready.
cannot be held responsible for the stupidities of this man.
Nor can any of us.
Now you know what everyone's been putting up with all these weeks.
Yeah,
that they've been
I mean, they may have come to accept it, but Mathilda's only been with you for a short while.
Actually, it's probably been with the amount of travel we've done. Yeah, it's probably been about 25% of the time everyone else has been with me.
Yeah, so everyone else has been at least 3 times as much.
Point taken.
We have been affected by it.
Yeah, Mathilda doesn't take this shit. She's like, no, I have other plans for today.
You're gonna have
I'm
to-
going to talk
You guys
to
can-
people,
you guys can
gather
choose if
evidence.
that's-
I don't know if Castinar's going to come with you guys or not, but we'll find out, I guess, later.
Maybe he's still recovering.
And from a frostbite.
Yeah, he'll be here next week, so we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out who he went with.
Okay. Are we ending here for tonight, or?
You guys, we can go a little longer. So you guys make it down to Donovan's shop, and then Donovan's like, "Oh, thank God you come. Listen, they burned down the warehouse.
No.
It's like not the warehouse with the weapons. Don't worry about that. I still
Thank
have the
God.
weapons.
Thank goodness, son of a.
But,
You
but
had
they
me scared.
burned down. They burned down
Wait.
Arun's warehouse.
Before we do
Rune's
this,
warehouse.
can I talk to the doctor and ask him if he's got any spells to that would compel people to speak the truth?
Speak the truth.
There is a spell
No,
like that. I don't know if you have it.
There is a
don't-
zone of truth spell, but that's a cleric spell.
Doctor can't learn that one. The most he
I
can
know.
learn are enchantment spells, which would compel people to, like, agree with. I can suggest to someone to speak the truth, and if they fail their wisdom save, then they think it's the best idea to speak the truth.
Well,
I'll explain that to you.
I'd be able to help you with your endeavor if, in return, you can help me gather some evidence.
Of course, you don't even need to ask. I would have helped gather evidence to free the barbarian, no matter what.
Because before you did not agree with my approach.
Before we were in a time-sensitive situation. Now that you have gained us time, we can.
That you almost ruined.
That was negotiable. It would
Now,
have been
we have to
worse
go
for him
here.
to be pardoned but dead.
Donovan's like,
We're-
"Can you stop arguing? I need help."
Yes.
And he,
Exactly.
he's like, "Follow me," and he
The doctor
he starts
follows.
running off, and you guys follow him down to a warehouse, and you see that this warehouse been completely burned to the ground.
But on our way there, I fill everyone in on the possibility of Lithocrafts being around, and what was his name? Slim potentially being one, and it being a big threat to the town. I also mentioned to Schmigel about running into guys last night and seeing the same crest on their sword hilts.
How do you react to that?
What?
Just thought you might want to know, in case I don't get a chance to mention it later. One
So
must
there's-
always share the information that they have
Have you
gathered.
guys? What do you guys know about that symbol so far?
We know that it's a symbol of the cult that hangs around in Icewind Dale.
and
we know.
the doctor's conclusion that they have strong ties to the Thieves Guild, since my nosing about for the Thieves Guild drew their attention. So just thought you'd be interested in that, Schmigel.
Well, you're
now,
assuming
off to the
that
warehouse.
that drew their attention.
I'm assuming that's one of the aspects that drew their attention.
Maybe something else that drew their attention. You're not-
Possibly, but it's a place to start.
Yeah.
But they were clearly looking for you.
It's a shame you weren't able to follow them.
I think what happened is you showed up in the tavern, and then you started just hanging out there, and you were spotted by a couple of people who whispered to another couple of people, and then those guys showed up. So you're not completely sure about how they
No,
came behind you.
I'm saying to Schmigel, it's my conclusion that
Okay.
they are connected to the Thieves Guild. That's what I'm telling Schmigel. That's the doctor's, what the doctor drew together. Besides, since the doctor's going up against the Thieves Guild, it benefits him to have Schmigel wanting to go dig around.
Donovan leads you guys to this burnt down building, And over there already, there are a couple of guards kind of surveying the area. It's already been reported to the guards. And they're kind of looking around, turning over some of the ash. They're just shaking their heads. He's like, I'm telling you, whoever Arun was after, they know about him, and they're striking back.
So it's imperative that we find Arun.
It's like, I
quickly.
wish I knew where he was. And then he starts thinking, he's like, you can check with Mithan.
Mithan.
Arun and Mithan spend a lot of time together.
I remember that name mentioned in his that paper we found.
Yeah. He says, Mithan, she's a cleric. Let me finish. Let me read you. I don't want to get things off.
Let's see. Zone of Truth. Oh, that's it. That's an enchantment, but
You can find her in a shrine of a Montador. It's in the north of the market square. She's a cleric of the sun.
All right.
And then before you leave, Donovan grabs you. He's like, I need your help. He's like, I have another warehouse, and I'm so afraid whoever did this is going to strike that place next. He said, I'll pay you. I'll pay you. Just please help me protect my other warehouse. And those weapons, your weapons are there.
Speaking of which, did you get what I asked for? The ones I asked
It's
for?
like I was going to get them this morning when this my warehouse burnt down. It's like your weapons are all in the other warehouse, and he points to a warehouse just down the road. It's like that one. He's like, here's the key. Please help protect it.
Very well. I'll do my best to protect it. I don't have any security spells to set up though. Does anyone else
I
have
don't
security
know when
spells?
they're going to strike. They may
I have
strike
alarm.
today.
Alarm?
Or they may
Okay.
strike. Yeah, he says they may strike today. They may strike later. I don't even know. I have no idea who did this.
Well, I will do everything within my power to protect your warehouse.
thank you.
And if something should happen to it while on my way, I will come as quickly as I can. Eldrin, would it be possible for you to place alarm on the building?
Yeah, I can cast it as a ritual, so I can cast it multiple times.
How close do you
Okay.
need to be to hear the alarm?
Good question.
within 1 mile of
Okay,
the warded
1 mile.
area.
Okay, that's
Great.
probably at least the size of Bryn Shander.
No, Bryn Shander's a little bit bigger than a mile.
Okay.
Hold on. I actually have a what's it called? A measuring stick. Let me see. So a mile is in the order of 1,000 feet. It's 1,500 something feet.
I think
So-
it's 2,500.
Oh, I don't remember.
Let me look this up on Google. It's 5,280 feet.
Okay. Very cool.
Okay, so we're good. So basically, we'll know if something's amiss from as long as we're within the city.
Okay, where are you gonna go off to? And what kind of alarm are you creating? Is it gonna be a bell ringing or alarm in your head, or is it
will be
gonna
on
be an
the-
audible alarm that everyone can hear, or alarm in your head?
I asked him to make one that everyone could hear. That way, any of us may know when it happens.
No, I mean there's an alarm spell. You can have it like a bell starts ringing, like right at the end at the place where you cast the alarm spell, or you can have an alarm
Right.
spell that sends a message to the caster's brain.
So how close? Right. So how close is Donovan to his warehouse?
Oh,
Can he
Donovan.
post?
The warehouse itself is on the southern area of town, and the area, the Shrine of Amontador, is towards northern end of town. I don't know if that's where you're going. Donovan's.
Can he post a guard or something? I can make it audible that anyone around can hear it.
Donovan says, well, perhaps if I try, I can get to these town guards. So where are you going to cast this alarm spell? The warehouse has a front door and a rear door. You're going to cast them both?
Yeah. What about windows?
Oh yeah, it has windows as well. It's got some first and second story windows.
This alarm spell is only going to last for 8 hours, so it's only going to protect until this afternoon.
Correct.
You'd have to come back and recast.
I would be happy to as long as we're still in town.
Okay.
Okay. Was that the whole thing that we needed to do?
1 second. I go into the building and I come out with a gift for everyone. I give Schmigel and Mathilda the
And I
two silver
wait a minute,
longswords.
I cast the alarm so that Donovan is the only one that can enter without setting it off. Is that correct?
Yeah. Donovan has actually given you the key.
Okay, so it's Donovan
So us,
and Donovan,
Our whole
Donovan
party and Donovan.
Yeah.
I look at the small sword and ask if you have a great sword.
Unfortunately, all that there is are long swords.
Are there
If you
short
want-
swords?
Yes, there are short swords.
I'd
there's a
rather
whole
have
bunch
two of
long
those.
swords,
Okay, I'll
a
give
bunch-
you two short swords then.
Rather than a. If there's no great swords to be had, I'd rather have two short swords.
Yeah. Are there
Um,
no great swords?
Wait a minute. I thought I gave you one of my flaming short swords.
That was the other game.
You gave
Oh.
that to my very
Oh, I
flaming.
wouldn't give out a flaming short sword. You kidding me?
Okay, my question
Ooh.
is,
No,
Does
you,
El-
you gave
does
that to my
Eldred have
flaming
the-
cleric.
Listen, I have good magic weapons in mind, but it's not gonna be like. It's gonna take a while for you to get some.
that's fine.
That's fine.
Eldrin doesn't have the flaming short swords, right?
No.
Okay.
There's no flaming short
No,
swords.
no,
I just
no.
want to make sure I don't have it on my.
It's a
Oh
lot.
yeah, you're right. I don't have it.
That's a lot.
I give you and Mathilda each two silver short swords.
I have one short sword.
Oh, you only want one? Okay, I'll give you one silver
Oh,
short sword.
Silver short swords.
Yeah, they're silvered short swords.
Okay, I will take two.
Okay, two. I give Schmigel. Do you want two short swords or one long sword, Schmigel?
What about an axe? Do you have an axe?
Unfortunately, this weapon cache did not have an axe.
It
Sorry,
didn't even have
Smiggle, you're
great
out of luck.
swords, which I'm greatly disappointed in.
You're out of luck.
All right,
Schmigel.
give me a long sword.
Okay. Remember, as I meant, and I'm gonna take.
Is there any way that you could use this stuff to forge a great sword?
Of course, but it'd take me about a good few hours.
It won't be easy to forge a sword. You'd have to go. You'd have to break because the silvered weapon is not made out of silver. It is dipped in silver.
Right.
So if you forge it, it may not be as.
Can I just have a blacksmith dip my sword in silver?
You can go around and ask if there's anybody who can do that.
I wouldn't mind doing that with mine.
I mean,
Go-
if there's no great, I'd much rather prefer a two-handed weapon than these two puny toothpicks.
You can still use your own weapon.
Well, yeah, but if there's light
Yeah, if you're-
entropy going
Yeah.
about, I'd
some-
rather fight that effectively.
For some reason, I have this weird imagination of the blacksmith kind of like dipping the sword in silver like an ice cream is dipped in
It's
chocolate.
actually-
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
It's actually a fairly complicated process, and it takes a skilled hand. Of course, dwarves would be able to do
Right.
it. The dwarves of Kelvin's Cairn would definitely be able to do it because they actually have a silver mine.
Right.
You can ask around town, see if anybody
Alright.
would be able
Yeah, right.
to.
Right before we wrap this up, can I ask around if there's a blacksmith that has the skill to do that?
Let's roll for it, shall we? Okay. You go to the blacksmith. Let's see.
Let's just assume you take the two short swords anyways for now.
Yeah, I'll take those with me, but provisionally.
There is a blacksmith in town. Let me get the name straight. So that's
This is what you get with an established setting.
there is Black Iron Blades. It's a small shop in Smithy, just north of the main square. And this is it's run by the Smith Garn. He is specialized in in selling dwarf crafted weapons. And although he does not have a silvered greatsword available. He says he can get one to you within 2 days, if you really like. It'd be expensive, though.
Could he silver my sword?
He says he does not have the skill, but he can get you one.
Okay. How expensive?
He's
1,000 gold.
how much is a greatsword in general?
It's like 50 gold,
It's 50 gold. Let me see.
if I remember correctly. It's a pretty expensive for weapon.
He says for 200 he can get you a silvered weapon within 2 days. A silvered greatsword within 2 days.
For 200.
Yeah.
All right, but I will only pay once he has it.
He says, well, you know, for me to order it, I need at least 25 gold down now, and I can get it ordered, and it will be here within 2 days. He's like, it's coming from Bremen. He says, I do see that there's a silver greatsword in stock in Bremen. I can get them. They can bring it over.
I see it here on my screen. Yes. Okay. I'll slam 25 gold pieces on his counter.
He says,
and place that order.
He says, come back in 2 days.
I don't know if I'll still need it by then, but
You
if I
may.
don't, I'm not
do,
down
you
that
have it.
much.
If you do need it, you have it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah. A silvered sword is not any worse than a regular sword, right?
No.
Does the
no.
silver wear out?
For our purposes, I mean, not unless you're going to be using it for a long time, it's not going to wear out.
Unless you're gonna chop wood with it.
Yeah, unless you're going to be carrying around with you for the rest of the adventure, and it's going to be killing a lot of monsters, you know. For our purposes, it won't wear out.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, silver
just
is a
like a
pretty
normal
soft metal,
sword,
but-
except it has the properties of being a silvered weapon in enemies, not just lycanthropes, but all enemies that are affected by silver weapons. There are more than lycanthropes that are affected by silver weapons.
Right. Okay, well, I'm rich, so I can afford this.
You know, it's not a big deal, but just
I'll subtract that 25 gold just to be diligent from what I have.
Okay. As we're walking, the doctor will ask Mathilda, what exactly did she have in mind with my enchantment magic?
Well, clearly the shopkeep was lying to us. I need to get the truth out of her.
I have a spell that may work. However, it's not the most ideal of spells.
I mean, alternatively, I can go to the Temple of Tyr and ask for a Zone of Truth to be cast.
That would be the most. That would be the best solution, or the most effective. If you are unable to, but we can always resort to my spell. But as I said, it's not the most. It's not the most. It's the best spell for this situation.
I nod. We'll end it at that.
Of course, we could use it if we have to.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm assuming that your temple is in the northern district.
It was between the marketplace and the south gate.
Oh, that's where it was. So it's on the opposite side of where the other temple was that I would have to go to.
the Temple of Mountador is in the north side of town.
Yeah, but the Triad
Temple of the
temple is in
Triad
the south.
is more towards the south end of town.
I guess we'll stop at the Triad on our way from the warehouse, because since they're both on the south side of town.
Yeah. But I thought that we would end the session at that point.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
Did I ever? I'd still like to find comprehend language if I can.
Yeah, all right.
What level spell is it?
It's first.
Yeah, you have it.
First level spell, if you go to the...
Oh, wait a minute, Doctor. Do you have it already?
Yeah, I already have it. So you have it.
Oh, okay. I'll copy it from him.
Okay.
Yeah, you already
in
copied it a long
Kendu's
time ago.
Arcanica, Imperium of Arcana, where you can purchase some magic spells and components.
And the doctor's only learning this now?
Well, you never asked.
Yeah, the doctor... What's the doctor? The doctor's been too obsessed with his mission
Yes.
and saving
you have.
barbarians. He hasn't been looking around for spells.
You can
My
go
God,
there and
what's been
purchase
happening to the
spells, but the spells are expensive.
It's almost like Mathilda is rubbing off on you.
Yeah.
You can go and purchase the spells that you need, but the spells are just a warning. They're going to be expensive just to keep things fair. Because if the spells cost 10 gold each, then you can have every spell. So they're going to be quite expensive.
The doctor kills everyone in there,
It's
steals
usually
all the
50
spells
gold
and
per
runs.
level, I think. I mean,
What?
I think they suggest 50 gold per level.
I don't pay attention to that suggestion.
Oh.
That 50 gold per level is still too small.
How about 200 gold per level? No, 100 gold per level. That sounds about right. That would. Because
We
then
can
it'd be
negotiate about it
then be
later.
200 gold for a
I
second
was
level spell.
the
No.
prices that I have written out are they go up with exponentially with levels. At level 1 spells like $100, not a big deal. When you want a level 2 spell, they're going to go up to 500. When you want a level 3 spell, they're going to go up to $1,000. I mean,
Okay.
we gotta
So
make
increase
them
by
expensive.
1,500. That
So
makes
level
sense.
1 spells you can just get. They're not difficult to purchase. But if you want if you're looking for like a chain lightning, a wish spell, that's not available. You know,
Chain
there's
lightning something.
the spells I'm not gonna let them go above level 4.
Okay, makes sense.
And even a level 4 spell, you can only cast it from the scroll anyway. You wouldn't be able to cast it to memorize a level 4 spell.
The doctor's gonna want Ice Storm for sure for his
Yeah,
combat.
it's going to be really effective in this area.
The doctor likes ice magic.
I
now.
know he does.
But I'll just set it for the level of the spell, the pricing on the level, and it increases exponentially.
Mhm.
So
Level
everyone,
1 spells are easy to get, and they're fairly inexpensive. They're like 100 gold each.
Edvard's black tentacles. Now,
Oh, I'm
doesn't
gonna
that
cast-
sound like
I'm
an
gonna check-
interesting spell?
I'm going to roll my portent rolls. 15, 11.
Oh, but we're ending. But this is for
I know.
next game.
No, it was for my long rest that we took already.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. So you guys feel like you guys feel like you're sandboxing right now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all over the place. We got like 5 different quests going all at once.
Yeah. This is the problem with sandboxing is that it's up
All right.
to you to keep it together. I'm just.
Matilda has a pretty straightforward goal. The
Yeah.
doctor is all over the place.
The doctor has his goal, but he can't stand to see someone get executed.
Nor can we.
But you gotta watch out. You can't cast spells in the middle of broad daylight in town. You gotta be a little bit more covert about casting
Keep that wild
spells.
magic in check, man.
You can't cast spells in the middle of broad daylight in the middle of town square. Doesn't
Listen.
matter where you stand.
Of course. No, but honestly, the wild magic thing works great for the doctor because what I had I intended for a bit of his backbone was that if he wasn't trained
Listen,
as a wizard,
If
he
you
most
die,
certainly
you can
would have
roll
been a wild mage.
If you die, you can roll a wild mage sorcerer.
No, but that's what I'm pointing. If the doctor wasn't trained as a wizard from birth, he would have his magic would have manifested in explosive manners and become a wild mage.
That would be interesting.
But it's the
Yeah.
fact that he trained so much beforehand from